ground and tunnels up, and then like pops up to damage your opponent, and then shoots with an exploding drill. So it's very
Exploding
entertaining.
drill.
Yeah, because they're named. What was there like something or other? Basically, they're like an Earth fucking person. All their stuff is related to Earth. Their big special attack that they build up, points for while they hit other people is to send shockwaves through the ground that damages all the opponents. Very entertaining. Oh, I saw the best fucking. I used to watch a lot of those Reddit stories. I mean, I still watch them occasionally when I'm gaming and whatnot. But there was this really dramatic. I used to watch a lot of those Reddit stories. I mean, I still watch them occasionally when I'm. And so it's like this big dramatic, super fucking dramatic thing. And the whole story boils down to like this dude moved into a neighborhood and was trying to run a fucking commercial trucking business from his house, and would have fucking semis coming in and out and parking in the neighborhood all the time. And the neighbors were getting pissed, and then finally he blocked some guy's driveway, and the guy was like, goes over, look, you need to move your truck. You're blocking my driveway. I gotta go to work. Like, you can't block my fucking driveway. I gotta go to do my job. Can you please move it? The guy's, I can't do that. My driver left, and I'm not allowed to drive it. And he says, well, you still need to move the fucking truck. No can do. Not my problem. Close the door. All right. Well, then he just calls the cops, and the cops come out. And they're like, yeah, you gotta move the truck. He's like, I can't do. And he's like, I'm gonna have it towed. And then they go out and tow it. And then the rest of the neighbors come up and talk to the police, and the police are like, look, this is a civil thing. You're gonna have to take him to court. And so I'll sue the fuck out of Tim, and his business is forced to move to a commercial place because, you can't run a business in a fucking residential neighborhood. That's the point of having commercial neighborhoods versus residential neighborhoods. It's a pretty reasonable thing for people to be able to say, hey, look, we want to have all our houses away from all the fucking dirty, gross businesses. And so then he's forced, of course, to move to a business. But the whole thing is like super fucking dramatic. Like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna? It's like, well, of course they're gonna make him move. You can't run a commercial business in a residential neighborhood like that. That's ridiculous. It's absurd that he was allowed to do it for as long as he was.
Yeah, that is fucking Jesus Christ, dude.
Can you imagine like how fucking obnoxious that would be? Like, oh my god, you're like literally parking a semi fucking business in front of like semis in front of somebody's house.
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Who was it? Who was doing it?
Some guy. He was in. It didn't really say. It was like there was Steven and Tim. Steven was the good guy. Tim was the bad guy. The names are probably fake. Like the whole story might be made up. You never, like with Reddit especially, you never know. The whole thing could just be bullshit. But if it's true, the names at least are almost always inevitably changed, just because people don't want to fucking have the potential chance of being like sued by somebody they already fucked over.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stories involve like some crazy fucking revenge. I mean, in this particular case, obviously that wouldn't be an issue. You'd hope not. Like obviously, the guy was in the wrong, and I don't think there's anybody who would be like, "Oh no, what do you mean? That's totally."
What do you mean? No, it's totally reasonable to have fucking semis constantly parked and blocking people out.
Yeah, that's totally normal. Well, I like the fact that, like, personally, I think Steven had an incredible amount of restraint to call the police, because I'd have dragged the motherfucker out by the fucking throat and beat his head against the fucking semi until the semi moved. Like, I don't really care. Like, you motherfucker tell me, oh, it's not my problem. Oh, it's going to be your problem, and it's going to be your problem with a lot less fucking teeth in about a minute.
Yeah, I want to see you at least attempt to move this fucking thing.
Yeah, well, you're going to want to move it. Trust me, Tim, you're going to want to move that car because you're going to want the pain to stop. Be clear. I can't imagine a lot of people, especially working class people, who would be like, oh, okay, well, I guess, if that's how, how it is.
Yeah, I'm not going to be late for work and get in trouble because you're a fucking asshole running a business in a residential area.
Yeah. That's one of the things we had. We had a problem with that bullshit with a neighbor before. Like, now there's this nice Mexican family that lives across the street. And they're super chill, and they, like, you know, if my mom's out working, like, the lady will send over her son to try to help her or something, even though he's, like, fucking, like, 6 or 7 or something, like, little kid. And, or she'll come out and try to help or something. Like, really nice people, right? But there was these fucking white trash motherfucking assholes that lived there for the longest time. And they would just, like, rent out these big fucking things where people were living in them. You know, like the trailers that are houses? It was like those. And they would just, like, park them wherever the fuck they felt like in our neighborhood and shit. And it was just like, you can't just fucking rent out the street to random fucking people. And like, we just have to have people living on our street in this building. It's like, that's not okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm fine with people that have to sleep in their car moving around from place to place and stuff, but you can't just set up and live in a neighborhood and just be part of the neighborhood living in your fucking RV or your car or whatever. Like, that's... You can't be permanently there. And I think that just, you know, that's just not fair to anybody. Like, it's not even a case of you know, one specific
I've seen
area.
some of those videos.
You know, you can't just...
Where people will park in a residential area, like in front of somebody's house.
Let's make history.
And they're like, you've been here like 3 weeks. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Park your fucking car and sleep somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the part that's weird to me, is like... Because I've seen people that'll do that for, at most, usually is a week.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's like, oh.
But yeah, I've seen videos of that where the person's like fucking just obnoxious. Like the one that's fucking parked in front of, you know, like in somebody's neighborhood like that. They're just fucking obnoxious about it. And they'll be like loud and, you know, do shit that no fucking reasonable person would do in their position to annoy the people in the neighborhood.
Yeah. That is the weird part.
Sorry to bore you.
Like the ones that are like obnoxious and mean and rude and shit, and you're just kind of like, don't you realize, like, you're not even supposed to fucking be there? Like what are you doing, buddy? Like, how do you not realize like that?
Why are you parked in a fucking residential area to begin with? Like, you couldn't find a Walmart parking lot or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Fucking stop putting up with that shit.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of spots they could find to park the fucking car. Like, why are you in a fucking neighborhood like that? You know what I mean? It could just be on the fucking dirt road out in the fucking sticks somewhere or whatever.
Yeah.
Or somewhere in town where they wouldn't be noticed or wouldn't care.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah, the whole thing is insane. Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and one of the, what was it? I heard a fucking crazy stat. So I was watching Joe Rogan today because he had on Dave Attell. And I'm like, well, obviously I'm going to fucking watch, you know, Joe Rogan and Dave Attell. That's fucking going to be great. And it's super fun. But they were talking about the squatting issue. There was one of these big liberal fucking cities where there's literally 1,100 and some odd fucking houses that are being squatted in at any given point.
Wow.
And they're like, oh, but you know, there's so many people that live here. It's just not that really obviously. That's just a small percentage. No, that's 1,000 people whose homes are being stolen. That's a huge fucking problem. That's millions of dollars of property being deprived, like, of people being deprived of millions of dollars of their property that they worked hard to get. Like, you don't get a home and it's cheap, man. And whether you're a rich person or a poor person, a home is an investment.
Yeah. The percentages don't really factor into it in situations like that, dude. Oh, that's only, there's 10 million people, so 1,000's not that many. Like, fuck you, dude. There shouldn't be, there should not be any.
Yeah, ultimately.
Much less 11,100.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and it should be fucking none. That's what we should be aiming for.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why we're having this discussion, because the concepts you're talking about is absurd.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the percentages don't fucking matter, dude. It should never be happening. It's fucking insane that it is.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Fucking nuts. What blows my mind is the number of people that seem to think that it's okay to just steal shit from people.
Yeah, it's one thing if you're like, oh fuck, they found out, now I gotta fucking leave. But for the ones that are like, fuck you, I've been here 30 days, so legally, you gotta fucking evict me, or whatever that fucking stupid shit is. Man, we wrote up these fake documents, fucking try to get us out.
Yeah, that's the part that gets me, is like, we just made this random fucking shit up. How come, they should have to just like, fucking take it to court. It's like, it's made in crayon on fucking construction paper.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, what are you talking about? Who the fuck gives a shit?
Yeah, like I kind of get the whole like the cops can't be the ones that figure that shit out, at least not at this point. But there should be some way to fucking call in or fucking look this shit up and say, oh yeah, no, there's no such document.
I think what they do is you have to go down and you have to register at least with the state government or your city government.
Yeah.
It's very simple. If you want to have a lease, you go down and you register it down there with the property owner. They both have to be present, and you do it in front of a court clerk of some kind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when they have these fake, you know what I mean? Because some of these people,
then when they bring it out, then they can just call a number and know whether it's true or not. Right now, there isn't anything in place.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the cops should be able to, like, all right, we got this case number. What do you got on this? And they're like, no, that's nowhere in our file. Or if it is, it's like, yeah, that has none of those people that you're mentioning. None of those people are mentioned on this document. So, yeah, it shouldn't be that hard to combat that, But the cops don't want to fucking deal with it, so they're just like, no,
it's such a simple thing. It's so ridiculous that it's even a question.
Yeah. Yeah, and the cops are like, I don't want to deal with this shit, so sorry, we can't do anything. You gotta, like, get the courts to get them out. Yeah, that shit needs to stop. Because obviously it's becoming enough of a problem that the cops need to know how to fucking deal with that shit. Because again, property owners should not have to do all that fucking bullshit just to keep somebody who's broken into and is fucking, like, you know what I mean, residing in a house that they have no right to. Like,
yeah, and they even arrested the one lady for
anyway.
changing the locks on her fucking house.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's fucking insane absurdity, dude. Like, that's surreal, absurd. Well, not surreal. Yeah, more absurd, I guess. Surreal. But yeah, dude. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that's
it makes no goddamn sense.
Welcome to the communist hellhole, where the people are all that matters, and they will do anything in the name of the people as long as it doesn't affect the wealthy.
Yeah, and anybody who's a landlord automatically counts as wealthy, so fuck them.
Because that's the thing that really gets me, is a lot of people seem to think that, oh yeah, anybody that is renting out a place is, wealthy beyond belief, and it's like, no, a lot of those people are just getting by, like everyone else.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe they live in a slightly more expensive neighborhood, or something like that, but that doesn't mean that they have, fuck tons of money to just throw away.
Yeah. Especially they're having the fucking time to, again, have to go to fucking court and do all that shit. Yeah, it's bullshit, man. So, yeah. It sounds like it's starting to become a big enough problem that maybe something like that will fucking finally happen.
Would be nice. It would be really nice to see them actually do something about that.
Here, come right back up. Yeah. I assume you probably can't make like a federal law. I would imagine it would have to be at least state level, if not like county or local. But yeah, these laws need to be enacted everywhere.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know how that shit works, but I assume that that's something you can't really do a federal law on, right? Like, it would have to be at least down to the state level, and if not, county or city. Right? Am I thinking about this wrong, or is that?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Like Congress couldn't enact a law about it, right? For the whole country as far as these renters shit, or can they?
What do you mean?
Like where the legislation would have to be enacted, like what level
Oh, it would have to be at the very
legislation
least on the city thing, but I think it would have to go by either states or almost like, like like it would be best if it was federal, but I'm pretty sure it's like a city ordinance or a state ordinance, like a state thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, does the federal government have the authority to do something countrywide like that? Or would it have to be done at the state or the local level?
Yeah, it would probably have to be the state or the local level. I don't know that the country would. I don't know that the federal would
yeah,
allow
I
it.
assume. Yeah. Because again, the understanding I have is if like it's not mentioned specifically in the Constitution, you'd either have to make an amendment, or again, it would have to be done at the state or local level.
Yeah.
County level, maybe, I don't know. It doesn't really matter now that I think about it.
It probably has to be the state. It would probably have to be like a statewide thing. But I think cities could probably make an ordinance that would be illegal enough to, what do you call it?
Yeah.
To make it so that at least that city would be like set. You know what I mean? Like they'd be all well to go.
Yeah, like the law would hold up to like legal scrutiny or whatever. Because I'm thinking even state might be too big for it. Like you might have to do like county level or again city or town level.
Yeah, I think it has to be state. It should be something. Personally, I think this should be nationwide.
Yeah, it would actually be nice.
Any sort of federal things that apply on that level? Because I know there's a lot of stuff about like the government not fucking around with like, and now your home is ours, without like compensation and stuff. So I don't know how the laws work in regards.
Yeah, that was just again. It doesn't really matter. I was kind of curious, like where that would have to be enacted at.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. I wonder how that would work. Hopefully we'll find out.
It'd be nice if they were actually going to do something about it. But I don't fucking think we will. I think people are just going to keep getting ripped off.
Yeah. But if enough people raise a fuss about it, hopefully they'll start enacting laws about it.
Yeah, one would hope. One would fucking hope. But we'll see.
Yeah, no, I would be obviously. It's probably a good thing that you and I don't own property that we're renting out, because
I truly feel
our solutions would be extra legal.
Well, you've seen the fucking. I'm sure you've seen it, but there's like a viral clip going around about a sheriff from Florida. Somebody fucking shot the squatter in their house.
Oh wow!
And the guy was like, "So we'd like to talk to the person who did this. You're not in any trouble. You didn't do anything wrong. We just want to see if we can get you into some sort of training course so that the next time you don't miss and you can save us a lot of trouble." And he's dead fucking serious, and you're just like,
that's got to be Grady Judd. That's got to be the Polk County Sheriff. That's Grady Judd's pretty notorious.
But I fucking love the guy. Like that was amazing.
That sounds like Grady Judd. Like I said, the guys from Revenge of the Sith live in that area, and they bring him up a lot.
Well, and the funny thing is, he's not the first one I've heard make that recommendation. There's this lawyer called Steve Leto on YouTube who talks about like mostly his expertise is in automotive cases. So like he represents the people that like dealerships try to rip off and manufacturers try to get away with not paying for like things where they fuck up and the vehicle's all screwy. Like he helps sue those companies and get people's like compensation. So that's his primary thing is consumer stuff and occasional DUI laws. But what's interesting to me is he's like, go ahead.
No. Finish what you're saying.
All I was gonna say is he covers all sorts of consumer issues. So it's and just weird lawsuit cases. So he's got pretty reasonable takes on everything, and he's very calm and collected. The one time where you were like, "Damn, what the fuck?" was he was talking about a case where somebody was squatting in a house, and he's talked about it several times before. And this time he was like, I live in a stand your ground state, and if somebody were to move into my house, I wouldn't bother calling anybody. I would simply arm myself as I am legally allowed to by law, and enter my home as I'm legally allowed to by law. And if somebody tried to remove me from that home, well, I'd have to take that as an attack on my person and stand my ground. And I'd stand my ground very effectively, and my home would be cleared out.
Do not provoke me.
He was just like, well, fuck. Like, if somebody who's normally like the most calm, like, I know you might be upset by something like this, but in this case, you're just better off not doing anything right then. No, he's like, no, you go into that house and you shoot that motherfucker in the face. Like,
No one
so squatting is definitely a thing that a lot of people are not real thrilled about.
Yeah, it's really fucked up. Dude, I was doing the search, right? I typed in Florida sheriff, and before I had the word sheriff done, the pre-fill thing, the first one was squatters. Florida sheriff squatters.
And you're watching the video now? It's only like 10, 15
Oh,
seconds
no, I was doing a Google search or whatever. I was just looking up on the regular internet. But yeah, it was autofilling. Like when I was halfway through the word sheriff, like the first recommended autofill or whatever, squatters. Looks like it was a guy it was a different sheriff. So apparently there's a lot of fucking crazy sheriffs in Florida. Yeah, apparently DeSantis signed bill allowing sheriffs to remove squatters from Florida homes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it can be done on the state level.
Everybody
So that's
fucking
good.
hates DeSantis because he went after Trump, right? And I understand like no, you go after Trump. Trump's the golden goose, blah blah blah. But like, the fact remains, he's a really good governor. Like whether you didn't agree or did agree with the way he ran his campaign, he's a pretty good governor.
Let me hear it. Alright, sorry, I was talking to the dog now.
One of the few politicians who seems to genuinely give a shit like what does and doesn't affect
No
his
one
people
can
in a
hide
negative light.
from my sight.
No, I thought it was a huge. I didn't hate him for trying to go for president, but I was just like, you're a real fucking. I don't know who's telling you to do this now, but it's a huge misstep, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know why he went for president. That was just dumb.
Leave it. Okay, leave it. Yeah, it was incredibly ill-advised. So I don't know if somebody were like, "Hey, you're hot right now. You better fucking. This may be your only chance." I have to assume that's what happened.
It does sound like the kind of thing a publicist would be like, "Oh, hey, you should do this strike while the iron's hot."
Still
Yeah. Because again, it made him again. Obviously, he wasn't getting elected this time, going up against Trump. But it's also like people are going to stay pissed off at him, and he probably potentially ruined his chance of ever, possibly getting that Republican nomination or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So,
I wonder if he'll ever get it again. That's actually a fair question.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, who the fuck is telling him to do this? Or is he doing this, like, just on his own? Because, like, I don't know much about the politics, but that was a horrible fucking idea. Like, why would you go up against him?
And especially in a year when Trump is really picked up steam. He is super fucking hot this time.
Yeah.
Because, even all the minority groups are like, let's fucking go.
Get out of there. Get over here.
Seems like everybody wants Trump, including the black vote and the Mexican vote this time around.
On the battlefield.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see if there's even enough fucking shenanigans available to counteract how unpopular Biden is and how popular Trump is.
Yeah, you would think, but I doubt they're gonna. I don't think it's just gonna get rid of him. I think it's just gonna. It's also like it's how they're rigging Congress right now. You know, that the illegal immigration isn't just to like, you know, get cheaper workers, but they count it towards the population in the state when it comes to how many representatives you get.
Well, yeah.
So that's why they're putting them in blue states.
Yeah.
Because then they have
Makes
more
sense,
representatives.
dude.
Yeah. They're trying to count them as you know, these are people in our state, so we have to like take them into account. It's like you shouldn't be because
No
they're
one
not
can
legal.
hide from my sight.
Yeah. How are you counting them as citizens or whatever? It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It's absurd.
Yep. Well, shit, they're talking about wanting them to have the ability to vote when they're in the country illegally.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Dude. Yeah, that's fucking just like that. It's pretty fucking disgusting because it's obviously another benefit for them.
Even though the votes they're at would only be on the local level, it still is just like, why would that even be on like consideration? We want these felons to vote? Really? You want these felons to vote? I mean, as opposed to the felons in your country, the felons that already live there, like, they're not...
Yeah, so they're doing illegal shit to even be here in the first place, but you want to let them have the right to vote. That makes a lot of fucking sense.
Yeah, it just makes none whatsoever.
You're not citizens of the country, but go ahead and vote.
Yeah. Oh, man. I hope they eventually fucking swing around in our lifetime. I'd like to see it swing back the other way.
Yeah.
But I don't know that that's something we're going to see. Or if, like, you know...
Yeah, well, especially with them rigging it this way.
2 or 3 generations
like, how the
down are going to be... Well, the thing is, a lot of the younger kids now are just not buying into this bullshit. Like... we did a night where in my karaoke group where literally what do you call it, the theme of all the music was artists who'd been canceled. So it was if they've ever been canceled for any reason, you know, then we can play their stuff. And it was funny because it was just a fucking joke to everyone. And as it should have been, like, don't get me wrong, like, it absolutely as it should have been. But, you know, a lot of these people are, like, in their, you know, early 20s or you know, early 30s. Most of the people in the group are young kids, like, in their early 20s, like, you know, 20, 22, 23 age range. And they're definitely way more, like they buy into some of the bullshit verbiage, but they don't tend to fall for like the other points, like, oh yeah, we gotta have all the fucking illegals across the border, and why, you know, you should, like, they're more conservative with fiscal stuff for sure.
Yeah, well, again, doesn't make any sense to just let whoever wants into the fucking country, dude. That's a fucking insane policy or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's 100% fucking bonkers.
Yeah,
but
and giving them so much free shit. Like, dude, how much free shit are they giving?
Cars and houses and money and free medical care for very expensive stuff.
Yeah, meanwhile, the people that were born here that are homeless, fuck those people. It's almost like they'd be better off going to another country, coming up with a new name or whatever, a new documentation, and then coming back and entering the country illegally.
Yeah. No, that's actually how a lot of them make their money.
The homeless.
So there's some areas where they'll just give them like $2,000-$3,000 each time they cross the border, and they'll do it 3 or 4 times a month to make their bank for the month.
Wow.
You didn't know that? Yeah, like that's literally one of the ways these fucking scumbags pieces of shit take advantage of them.
So they just come back with like different paperwork or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, no, it's the first time I've never been here before."
Definitely, yeah. No, they literally just make up another fake name. It's not like they couldn't run their facial recognition and find out that they've already been there under a different name. Like, that's super easy.
Baby.
Like, you take a picture of everybody that crosses
nowadays,
the border,
actually,
and you can just run that through a database afterwards.
Yeah, I assume that would be racist somehow or something.
Oh yeah, no, fucking. I mean, you're racist for even thinking about that.
Right. Oh, these are the noble savages. They would never do something so disrespectful, dishonorable.
Yeah, no, they're perfect because they have the magical skin color that makes them magically delicious.
Yeah, no, that's, yeah. I think the tide is finally turning and people are getting out of that ridiculous mindset.
Well, I mean, it's so hard to get a house now. You imagine, like, people are like, oh, I don't like being miserable and looking at nothing in my future. For some odd reason.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's the same with the, like that, Keppel's fucking person. I don't know if you know who that is or not. I'm hoping you don't. Yeah, but anyways, it's the trans woman. And, basically, she's a grifting fucking, completely dishonest fucking scumbag.
Let's try
that. Oh, yeah.
But anytime that anybody's pushed back on it and pointed it out, she just calls them transphobic. Has nothing to do with her being trans. Has more to do completely about her fucking duping her fans into giving her a shitload of money, and then not doing yeah, dude. But yeah, that's worked for a long time. Like, it's finally starting to not work. People are finally realizing she's just a horrible person.
Nice. That reminds me of that. There was a Twitch streamer that was doing that, where she was pretending to have all sorts of horrible issues so that she could get a free house out of her viewers. And they legitimately, they fucking bought her a house. It was crazy. Like, the one with the Keppelvich was like first because she had some kind of fucking issue with she just hated Kiwi Farms for whatever reason. But she basically constantly was saying like, no, I've got to flee because they're messing with me. And then like people threw a shitload of money at her, and she's like, okay, yeah, now all the money I get. Oh yeah, so I think she started out with like the goal being like 10,000, so she could flee Canada or wherever the fuck she was at. And then like as soon as it gets close to 10,000, she would bump it up to like 25,000. And then we get close to 25,000, bump it up to 50. She got all the way up to 100,000, right? And then, like, at a certain point, like, after it was at, like, 25, she's like, okay, now all this money is going to be towards legal funds against the cops of Canada or Britain or wherever the fuck she had an issue with them at. And then, yeah, basically all she's been doing is just going around to different fucking countries on, like, a permanent vacation. Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and finally people are starting to fucking realize how full shit, it should have been known all along. Like, I had barely heard of her, like, over the last couple of years, occasionally here and there. But what little I knew about her, I probably saw a total of, like, 5 minutes of film on the bitch, and I'm like, this bitch is completely full of shit.
For some reason, anytime there's a certain number of guys who just will, no matter what the case is, always believe somebody that looks even remotely female. Like, they genuinely want to, like, fucking, they're just like, oh no, but it's a woman that's saying it, she must be,
like that for him.
Even if it's a guy pretending to be a girl like that, like, for the sake of, like, a scam.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the white knighty thing and the fucking simps is definitely a major issue.
Well, it's like that's part of why, the sim thing where everybody just is, like, they feel that compulsion to fucking provide.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the whole thing that, with the Minecraft YouTuber, and the girl accusing him 8 months after the fact. That just happened. The whole what's his name, George Not Found and Katie Bugs.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah, same thing. Well, that one's a little different. Most people don't believe her, and she has changed her story a lot. But even for her, there's still a decent amount of fucking dumbasses that don't realize she's completely full of shit. I'm like, how do you not watch that and realize she's not really crying? And those are the fakest fucking expressions of her fucking pretending to be scared or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like,
for sure.
what the fuck is wrong with people? Yeah, I think I sent you the clip, right? The 15-second clip of
Probably.
her.
You're
Like,
the one that was...
like,
she
oh,
was...
I'm scared.
Oh, yeah, where she's doing the crying thing and, like, the weird, like, I gotta fucking...
Excavation initiation!
Say, what it was... She was doing some weird shit that didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and she's changed her story like 3 times now, 3 or 4 times. And, yeah, it's getting pretty fucking ridiculous. But even then, still fucking dumbasses that are just buying whatever the fuck she says. Because, yeah, initially, she was talking about how he went up under her shirt or whatever. And then when that was like,
touched your
so
stomach,
you got your stomach touched?
Like, oh no.
Yeah, well, no, she upgraded it to tits. She upgraded it.
Oh, she's lying even
Tits
more
now.
now. She decided to
Since
make
then.
some random shit.
Yeah. Now she's saying, yeah. Yeah, and there are people that actually buy that. They're like, no, they said under the shirt, everyone automatically assumed that you touched your tits. I didn't assume that at all. And most people didn't, but there's people out there like, no, all of us assumed it meant tits. Like, no, that's not what happened at all. She kept it as vague as possible for as long as she could. So yeah, so now it's upgraded to tits and fucking...
Oh,
yeah, the whole story's
everything
ridiculous. Again.
It's insane. The whole thing is insane, and,
Yeah.
and she's like, there's somebody left a response to one of my comments, because the last video that chick put out, I was like, why are we even why even, like,
I've still got more stuff to see.
give rise to this pretense of the nonsense they're talking about? Like, it's obviously it's a cheat.
Excavation initiation!
Yeah.
Like we all know she's making it up, and then like somebody was like, oh yeah, well it helps that on the stream when she initially was saying like, I didn't do this for money, this is just, to like let people know and everything. She got like 2 subs for like $25 immediately when she started talking about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not doing this for money, and then just fucking making money while she's just talking about it.
Yeah. No, it's absurd because she's like, why would I do this? Why would I want any of this? I'm like, well, your fucking subscriber count tripled due to all the fucking retarded simps out there. So yeah. And again, what I assume happened is also, I don't know what it is with the kids, but I've never cuddled for an entire hour before trying to escalate. So that was odd. I'm like, is this guy really straight, or is he?
No,
just,
he's not.
Like,
no, I'm not joking. He's fucking not.
Yeah, wait,
that's what makes this whole thing. I'm pretty sure he's not straight.
Yeah,
Unless I missed something.
Yeah. No, I mean, seriously, dude. I think I'm somewhat of a gentleman, but if I'm cuddling with a bitch for fucking an hour, well, I'm not getting anywhere near an hour, but I'm going to try to escalate it. Again, trying to at least kiss her or fucking grab a tit. Like, you know what I mean? Like an entire hour of cuddling.
No, I'm pretty sure he's.
Yeah, that seemed. Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, he did say something about his friends always thinking he was gay. George Not Found as his YouTube name, or his Twitch name, or whatever the fuck.
I aim to
Yeah,
that would not be
gay
surprising.
April 5th, 2022 of 2022.
Oh wow!
Like I was serious. Do you think I was making a fucking joke? No, he's fucking gay. That's what makes the whole thing that much more ridiculous.
Wow.
He's not even straight. So like,
Why
yeah,
isn't
no,
that being found out?
he literally came out in like fucking YouTube, like publicly. That and I think she had assumed she could use sex to get somewhere. Realized it wasn't gonna work because you know he wasn't interested in any fucking. And
Oh wait, here's something from March saying George and I are not gay from Dream.
Oh,
Dream's
maybe I'm
another one of
wrong.
the Minecraft.
yeah,
No, I'm not
wrong.
sure. Comes out as gay. No, I'm seeing a lot on both sides of it here. 'Cause this one says he says he's not gay, says he is gay. Dream, who's again another one of the Minecraft YouTubers, who I kind of assume are all gay. They certainly are fucking effeminate. But anyways, yeah, apparently he said George and I are not gay in March 9th of this, of last year. Sorry, that was 2023. All right, let's see. But there is definitely a lot of rumors at the very least. But anyways, yeah, I would not be surprised. I don't know why he doesn't want to come out. Oh, you know what it is? I assume it's similar to like Tom Cruise and them, where they're like, well, I might lose a bunch of female fans if they find out I'm gay.
Oh yeah. You know,
Yeah, that's the
especially
only-
when you're talking
I
about
get
Hollywood's
it.
kind of sick like that, where it's just like.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah, I would not
oh,
be surprised.
Like, what was it? You remember? You know, Kevin James is right. Like, I assume you're aware of Kevin James, like the comedian and actor was in King of Queens. Yeah, he wanted to lose weight.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
No, fat is what makes you funny. You can't lose weight. If you lose
Dude,
weight,
that's so
you won't be
fucking
funny. No
evil.
one will like you anymore. That was his fucking agent said that shit to him.
Wow,
Interesting.
that's
Yeah.
fucked up, dude.
Can you fucking
I remember.
imagine?
Oh shit, this is, dude. Will Sasso from when he was on Mad Heat. He was pretty fat when he started, but he actually lost a bunch of weight at one point. And basically, they actually did a sketch, like kind of making fun of it, where they're like backstage pretending, you know, and like Will Sass was telling two of the other chicks there, like, "Oh, I got the sketch," and he's like going to carry, and then like one of them's like joking around, and he's like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And he's like, "No, that
No
was
one
that.
can hide
No, you were really
from
funny,
my sight."
like when you were really fat." Like it was basically a sketch, like making fun of that whole fucking idea. But yeah, no, it's fucking fucked up, but that's like kind of true. No, you can't be healthy. Don't try to be healthy. You're the funny fat guy. Yeah, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I would consider any of my
Hollywood is one of the
representation that
most
said
broken
something like
fucking
that.
places. Oh, sorry, I was just saying Hollywood is one of the most broken fucking places in the world.
Yeah. But yeah, no, if my agent or representation said that, no, you gotta stay fat,
Yeah.
they'd be out. They're like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Sorry, my 4% is gonna go way down, or 10% or whatever, if you get skinny. So you stay fat, fatty.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta be funny, fat man. And well, that's okay. So this actually brings me to the thing I saw about John Cougar Mellencamp, and everybody was mad at him for canceling the concert that he was doing in the middle of it because somebody started yelling out, "Sing a fucking song." I'm like, you're going to a fucking old man concert. What the fuck did you expect? Of course he's gonna fucking ramble on. He sung those goddamn songs for fucking 50 years. He just fucking doesn't want to. He probably didn't want to sing any of them anymore. He's probably fucking done. You know, as good as they are to you, he's sung them a million fucking times. You know, like.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
So like that, and you know, and you're going to like somebody who's really, really well known. This is like the American fucking guy, you know, everything. So of course he's going to talk about stuff. Now, as far as I'm aware, he's extremely left wing as far as politics, and he was talking about politics. I understand people might be annoyed, but that doesn't give you permission to be an asshole and essentially do this the dance monkey dance fucking line.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see why He'd be fucking
Because
pissed.
you're essentially just saying, dance, monkey, dance. So yeah, of course he canceled the show, because after that, you know, the audience is kind of like mixed. They're not like taking his side anymore. And like, I understand, alright, you know, you kind of fucking brought this shit on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to listen to their fucking political opinions of any entertainers that I'm a fan of. But I also wouldn't be yelling out at them either. Damn it, I'm trying to find that fucking clip. For some reason. The clip of Will Sasso on the thing I was talking about. Of them saying, yeah, you were way funnier when you were fat. I'm not finding it though. Fuck yeah!
Agreed. Sex is always the answer.
Racist Family Feud. What the fuck? I have not seen one. Well, that seems pretty funny. Matt TV was not really all that great, but there were some fucking really good sketches.
No one can hide.
Most of it sucked, to be honest. But they did have some really good ones too. Oh yeah, David Tell was on with Shane Gillis, Matt and Shane's secret podcast too. I didn't get watch all the way through it, but yeah, he was on that too. I assume they're all in Austin now. All kinds of motherfuckers moved to Austin.
Oh yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that David Tell would be doing Rogan and fucking Shane and that. Yeah.
Alone, as always.
See if I can find that one. I want to save that for later. Make sure I don't miss it.
Save it for later.
Save to watch later. Share. Alright. Oh, God damn it. No. No, I didn't want to do that. There we go. Share. Copy link. Actually, that probably would have worked anyway. But whatever.
Man, I'm
there you
gonna
go.
kick out of these Tonetta fucking songs, by the way. I strongly recommend checking out as many as you can. Oh, that's a whole podcast? Okay, I'll check that out later. I thought it was going to be like a short thing that I could watch, and I'm like, nah, that's an hour and 18. Oh, yeah, I'll watch that later.
Hey, get over here.
Oh, man. So did you see the thing on Steven Crowder, since we're just like, you know, bullshitting about bad comics? Or no, well, we're talking about good comics. Let's talk about bad ones now. But you see the thing about Steven Crowder? He's apparently, his wife is fucking him over, or his ex-wife now, because she divorced him.
Alright, sorry, I'm dealing with my dog here. No, get out of the way. Come here. Leave it. Leave it. I didn't realize you were getting dropped off the way they pulled in. Stay. Leave it. Sorry, it's like wrapped around my foot and shit. Stay. Get over here. Leave it. Okay, I think I'm good now.
Yeah.
Alright, man.
But yeah, Steven Crowder getting fucking, apparently Jared, is suing him as well, because he supposedly stole some equipment from Jared.
Oh, really? Like 8 years ago or whatever, when they...
I guess. I don't know, like...
Yeah, or maybe the wife knew about it, talking. Apparently they have gotten to talking. Like, oh no, that's at the house. No, he clearly stole that from you.
Yep.
If that's what happened.
Yeah, so like, but he apparently also advised her to like really fucking go after him or something. And I'm saying, you know what? Yeah. I bet you they were acquaintances, if not friends, prior to the Steven, you know, when Steven was married originally. Because if I'm not mistaken, right? He's been married for a while. Like, it's not like he was married all of a sudden, like, towards the end of his show.
No, he had 2 kids. they had at least 2 kids together, so yeah.
Yeah. So like that was always part of his appeal, was he was the married guy with 2 kids, and like he knew where you were coming from, and
yeah.
I can dig that.
Yeah, you know, the way most guys are, you know, bisexual with a beard and 2 kids. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bisexual with a beard. But like we saw this shit where he was super abusive on the video, like where he was like, why would I get you a car and all this other crazy shit, and you shouldn't be doing this or that or going out and talking to people. Like all these things that are just really fucking creepy, right? So yeah, I think she has pretty good reason to like want to go after her.
Yeah, no, he's fucking, turns out he's pretty fucking horrible. So yeah, get him for whatever you fucking can, dude.
Excavation initiation.
I support her fully, dude. Normally I'm, not a big fan of that, but she might be awful too, but I haven't seen a whole lot of evidence of it.
If anybody deserves a bunch of somebody's fucking money, it's somebody who was prevented from doing anything that could even be close to be considered getting a career of their own.
Yeah.
Who abuse was used. Like they used abuse.
Yeah. To keep her down.
Yeah, to keep her down, keep her from doing anything.
Locked away. Yeah, remember the situation where the one that got out, that everybody's all robber rage, wasn't it just her wanting to go to the store to fucking buy groceries or some shit?
Yeah,
like she couldn't go to the grocery store alone. They only had one car. That was the thing. They only had one car. Considering how money he made, he wouldn't let her have her own vehicle. Like that alone is fucking insane.
Yeah, and
like you make how many tens of millions of dollars, and you
the money he's
can't get a second car for your wife.
And the house they're fucking living in, like, you
that's
be kidding me.
Very obviously.
Not only that, she can't have her own car.
Yeah, that is very obviously
when you're
a
fucking
control
home
thing.
sitting on your ass smoking a fucking cigar, you can't be responsible for your kids for an hour while she goes to the fucking grocery store. Like, she can't leave and do anything because it wouldn't be, convenient for you.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, this is supposed to be a partnership. Obviously, you're out of your fucking mind. And so, like, I'm guessing that sort of rage and shitty personality and attitude towards other people's time and consideration is only worse with his employees because he's not fucking his employees. Well, literally fucking them that way.
Yeah.
Maybe figuratively he's fucking them out of their the money that he should have been paying them. Because I'm sure that's part of what Jared's going after him for is probably, compensation for all the stuff Jared helped build. Because Jared was like half that fucking channel when it started.
Yeah. Although there's theories that those two did actually hook up, like they're both like bisexual. I mean, obviously Crowder is. Did you ever see the that's an old clip where Crowder like kisses Jared on the cheek, like in a weird way, like way back, like several years ago.
No, but that's
like
fucking
the way it looks. I'm
I
not
love
gonna
it.
find it. Yeah. I want to. I'll try to find it, dude.
I fucking love it. That's so funny.
Yeah. It's something that really looks like okay. These guys probably fucked, or at least it would not be surprising if it turned out they fucked. Yeah, like I said, I'll try to find it. I was watching, I don't know what show I was watching, but it was on somebody's live stream.
Man.
So let me see. Let's try this week. See if I can pull it up. Alright. But yeah, I'll try to see what we can find. Probably not it. But yeah, it would not be surprising if he was, again, an asshole to pretty much everyone that worked for him. That would tend to, that type of personality.
Ultimate's charging.
It would be way more surprising if he actually treated his employees well.
Damn.
Let's group up.
Oh wait, I forgot. There was a fucking
I can dig that.
somebody that used to work there did a thing like a sketch
I can dig that.
about like the handbook, the Louder with Crowder employee handbook thing.
No. I can dig that.
The handbook? Oh, did
It was like spoof
it
for that, and
funny?
some of the shit they said, okay, they have that took based on something that.
Gotcha.
No, it was a parody. They're saying they were like reading out the handbook, but they weren't actually doing it. But it was all like first, walk Steven's dog. Do Steven's laundry. Take the dog, Steven's
maybe it
dog
was
out the
real?
poop,
Maybe
making
it was
somebody
real,
do that
is what
shit.
you're saying? Maybe it wasn't so much
Well,
of a
yeah, I
parody.
mean, it was a parody. No, it was a deliberate parody, but you could tell whoever made it almost certainly worked for him, and that shit really happened. So it was done as a parody, but again, based on real events. And it wasn't something they like released. Like I think they sent it to some people. They're like, "Yeah, I like what we made. This is fucking funny." They're like, "Yeah, he's terrible." But I don't think he posted it out, or whoever did it. I can't remember who the fuck it was, but let's see if I can. Maybe it's in here.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. It was like Steven is it's 10 o'clock. Bake Steven Crowder a potato in the microwave or something like that.
Yes, dude, yes. Okay.
And I remember thinking,
Yeah.
like, that's a fucking weird one. Why did you eat the whole potato? Like, nothing else? You just eat a raw, like a baked potato?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about the potato one. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff about him taking, feeding and walking the dog and taking him out to shit.
Oh, yeah. That was like the amount of work that everybody else has to do taking care of Steven Crowder's dog.
Let's make
Is that even his
history.
dog
Yeah.
anymore?
Hammerman.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
German music to recommend?
Krankenwagen Grün. The best band.
Yeah, I'm not finding any clips of that. You remember to find it anyway.
Say, they
Bucky.
find techno polka. You young people
Yeah.
have no culture at all.
So fucking ridiculous. I felt so bad for the people that work there now. Because, like, at first you hear the
Yeah.
rumors and you're like, alright, whatever, dude. You just mad because, you got fired or sour grapes or something along those lines. But after a while, it's like, alright, I can't. The rumors are there's just too many rumors, like, to pretend that they're not real anymore.
Yeah. Like, that's an awful lot of smoke, man. There's got to be fire. There's got to be fire behind all that smoke. But yeah, you got to think about it. Even now, he's still got I'm sure he lost a bunch of fans, but he's still got a bunch that still buy his bullshit. You know what I mean? Mr. Conservative Values guy. Yeah. They're like, oh no, that's still totally true. I'm amazed at how many people get upset that fucking only one person has to be okay with a divorce for a divorce to happen.
Yeah.
Like, there's a surprising amount of people that think that's a bad thing.
Oh yeah. The idea that only that it should have to be 2 people for a divorce instead of 1.
Yeah.
Are you fucking insane?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Oh, that was
I
one of
don't
those ones
understand
that was
that
one of
at
those
all.
weird ones that Samaj is all about.
Oh, he thinks both should have to agree?
Yeah, no, he thinks there shouldn't be divorce.
Oh, God, yeah, Smudge is... Yeah, I love him, dude, but he's very, he's got, considering the fucking, groups he hangs with, he's very naive. Like, you know what I mean? Like, his view of the world, it seems still incredibly naive. Like, he has an oddly optimistic, outlook on shit. So, yeah, no, this should never happen. People should stay together and stay married forever. Like, well, people change. One person turns out to be an asshole, or a fucking whore, or fucking whatever. Yeah, they shouldn't have to agree to fucking...
Oh yeah, if you don't know who's
dissolve
fucking
that.
if your wife's kids are yours or not, and it's a legitimate like fucking concern. Yeah, you should 100% be able to just say, hey, I want a fucking divorce. And if you're an abusive piece of shit and she's like, hey, I can't even fucking go to the grocery store, she should 100% get a divorce. Yeah. There's no reason for it to be people agreeing on that. That's dumb as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it can just be, hey, I don't want to be married to you anymore. That doesn't even need to be, in my opinion. Somebody just doesn't want to be married to somebody anymore for no fucking reason other than they don't want to be married to them anymore. That should be fine. Kind of shitty, but I mean, you know, why are you going to stay with someone? You're like, yeah, no, I loved you when we got married, but that's not really the case anymore. Like, you know what I mean? You don't necessarily even did anything wrong. You're just like, I can't stand you anymore, so I want to get divorced. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's an odd thing. Because, yeah, I think, who was the one that surprised me? I think it was Matt. I think it was Matt Christensen. That somehow objected to the no-fault divorce or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Or thought that both people should have to agree. For his, I assume it's similar to Samaj, where they're not thinking about the scenarios where why wouldn't that be okay? Like, oh no, I'm beating the shit out of him. I don't want her to leave. I want to be able to keep beating the shit out of her. So I don't agree. So you should need to stay married forever. Yeah.
That's insane.
Again, I have to assume they're just not thinking it through like that. I assume Matt is still happily married at this point, so he thinks all marriages are like his, or something.
Well, you know, Matt Christensen might be a really great guy to be married to, right? You know, like his wife's probably super fucking cool. He's probably super chill. He's probably not really mad all the time. Like some people just get freaking pissed off out of nowhere. He seems very chill.
Yeah.
But that's not everybody.
Yeah, that's
It'd be ridiculous to judge based on
just because you're in a happy marriage.
Exactly. Just
most people are
your
not.
Wife well, not everybody's happy like that.
Yeah, and again, situation where somebody's just fucking a vengeful, horrible person that's just abusive at all the time could, possibly just say, no, I don't want, so we're not getting divorced.
That's fucking
like that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's seriously fucking tricky.
Yeah, it's a very fuck. I don't even.
It's a really scary thought.
I gotta know that abusive relationships happen. Like I really don't get that, dude. Like what? Yeah, it's very odd. He didn't really like when I heard him say it. I'm like, that's fucking weird. What the fuck? But they didn't really expound on it either. But yeah, I mean, again, Matt's a pretty solid guy overall, so I assume he's just not putting nearly as much thought into it as he really should. Because I imagine laying that scenario out, just pointing out, okay, so if a guy's beating the shit out of his wife every fucking day, and he doesn't want to let her get divorced, they shouldn't be allowed to get divorced? Like, I assume he would fucking come to his senses just hearing that.
Aw, thanks.
But for some reason, yeah, they're just not thinking it through that way.
Man, I don't know, like, because that was one of those ones Samaj was all about, too.
Yeah. Very odd.
Oh, man. But then again, Samaj has some funny ideas about stuff, too, occasionally. Where you're just like...
no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, he's got, again, it's a very, like, naive and innocent...
It's an extremely misogynistic idea. Because it is almost always... I don't think I've ever heard a woman say, like, there shouldn't be divorce. I'm going to be honest here. Usually I don't like to cry that, but this is one of those ones where it's an extremely misogynistic thing. It almost always is accompanied with the idea that the man is the one making all the money and that the man should be able to basically dictate anything because of that, as if that's how a partnership works.
Right.
It's a fundamental lack of understanding of how relationships should work. Not even just like romantic relationships, just relationships in general.
Yeah.
Like that's not how they should work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very odd. Yeah, it does not make any fucking sense.
Really creepy, in my opinion, because it's somebody who just wants to have direct control and power over somebody else's life instead of just living their own fucking life and hoping to make rules that make it so other people can't tell them how to do it. Because, like, to me, that's ultimately what this really what a lot of this cultural divide is about is there's a lot of people who are like, no, we need to have a central authority so everybody is nice and nobody ever gets their feelings hurt. And we won't say the wrong words because that's mean. But really what they want is they want to control other people and force their opinions and beliefs on those other people. And then the other side is going like, hey, we just want to do our own fucking thing. Like, we don't want you to mutilate children. They don't have the legal right to make that decision. They're not adults. And by the time they're adults, they might have realized you're a fucking psycho and that none of this shit you're saying and trying to poison their heads with is anything reasonable. But if you've already managed to chop off their fucking, you chop off their balls or scoop out their fucking ovaries, then it's too late and they're fucking sterile and they're never going to have another orgasm and their life is fucking going to be miserable. You know?
I mentioned that.
But
I mentioned Keppels earlier. She's one of the people that thinks that fucking
choice.
Yeah, Keppels is one of the.
Oh, sorry, you kind of went dead.
Yeah, that was another thing that she had said. The Keppels that I mentioned earlier. Keppels is one of those people that, like, I'm going to help your kids transition behind your back. She had said that like a couple of years ago, dude, and has kept that up. Yeah. And then, like, I think she went on the H3 podcast at one point, and, like, he brought that up and, like, well, they're saying this, and they're like, no, that's crazy. I've never doing any of that. And then it's like a tag, like a tweet or something where she's like, yes, I am going to help your kids transition.
Yeah, that is. Personally, I think you should kill people who'd rather do that. Like, if you're a parent.
Yeah. But it's that kind of authoritarian. Well, it worked for me, so I'm going to have other kids because it's obviously going to work for everyone if it worked for me.
Yeah,
I guess because she transitioned when she was like 16 or whatever. And then apparently there was some like secret Discord for kids that thought they were trans or whatever, where they were teaching them how to make fucking homemade hormones. They called it like making them in a bathtub or whatever, some weird shit like that. But apparently there's some way to make like fucking homemade hormones out of other shit.
Well, one of the things that gets me is the whole thing is based on kids being going through puberty.
Yeah.
Like all these kids.
It's wrong for everyone.
Of course they feel uncomfortable in their own skin. Of course they feel like something is wrong with them.
Yeah, the transition from childhood to adulthood, like, again, it's fucking insane, dude. Like, everyone's uncomfortable in their own body at that point.
Yeah.
For, quite a while. But yeah, it doesn't mean that they're, and again, just going back to all the people that were like, I thought I had body dysmorphia or whatever, gender dysmorphia. Then I grew up and it turned out I was just gay, or I was just lesbian, or whatever. Like, that's a vast majority of the cases. Yeah.
You can just be a tomboy.
Yeah, there's all kinds, again, an incredibly small amount of those people actually ended up being genuinely trans by the time they're, into adulthood. So again, if you're gonna let kids transition,
now they're
fucking
people that fucking transition kill themselves in adulthood.
Yeah, there's a 44% or some shit. Like, it's almost as fucking damn close to half. Yeah. So it's like, dude, why the? I get. Again, it sucks for the ones that are genuinely trans that they gotta wait into adulthood. But dude, you're kind of protecting them from themselves. Or all the other ones that aren't trans, you know what I mean? Like, it's an insanely high gamble to have them, again, take puberty blockers and fucking take all the other hormones and actually fucking mutilate their fucking genitals. And then, turns out I was just gay. Turns out I was just a lesbian. And now I don't have a fucking cock or pussy
literally
anymore.
just I was an effeminate dude
Functional
or
cock.
a masculine female, like where you're just kind of like, you're not like the typical girly girl, you know, that's it. That's the only real thing that's going on.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. That whole thing is shitty.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Yeah. Oh, the queer kid stuff is making the rounds again for some reason.
Oh, that's so dumb.
Well, the guy from the Who Are These Podcasts, Carl.
I can dig that.
They were bringing it up. They did a live show with the Revenge of the Sis and some other people in Tampa. But they were bringing it up, and she has a TED Talk. Lindsay did a TED Talk like a couple years ago, I guess. And like nobody would ever they would think I was making it up when I said her target audience was 3 to 7 year olds. Like everybody thought I was like making it up. And then she's like fucking in the TED Talk. She's like, yeah, no, I'm doing this, to make people of all ages aware. And she literally says, like, and when I say all ages, I mean all ages. So from babies to your grandmother or whatever. Like she says that. And it's like, why do fucking 2 or 3 year olds need to fucking know that shit? Yeah, it's, again, incredibly disturbing, and I hope she's never around children alone, ever. Oh shit, did I fall out? Or you just
No, I'm sorry, I'm sniping, my bad. I was getting into a sniper battle. I killed somebody and they somehow didn't die, so I don't know what's going on. I got a fucking death message. And then they're just fucking back to life again immediately, and I'm like confused now.
Alright. Yeah, I'll have to clip that out. Because I'm so fucking nuts, dude. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I'll post the whole thing. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but...
Yeah,
I'll try to find the actual clip where she says that shit. Because it's fucking nuts, dude. And she said something like, oh, now kids are aware of their gender by like age 4. And I'm like, it's probably way earlier than that they were familiar with what fucking boys and girls are. That's a lot different than talking about fucking sexuality and shit. Why is that not posting with the picture?
You would think that people it wouldn't be like a question. But it's like a debate for some odd fucking reason. And it doesn't make any sense that it's not like a, oh, this guy's using fucking walls. Okay. No wonder he's sniping so well.
Right. Fucking cheaters.
Well, he's aiming at me before he comes around the fucking corner. Like my character has walls built into his kit. I get walls for a limited
shit going on. Sorry, my internet connection's getting wonky. I don't know if I'm coming through or not.
No, sorry. Yeah, I'm getting distracted. I should stop playing this game. I'm trying to think of what other stories there were, because that one was getting kind of boring.
Let's keep this moving.
Oh, did you see the Kellogg?
I'm gonna drop off and come back, man.
Oh no, okay. I guess you're actually cut off. I thought you were just not hearing me because I wasn't talking.
Excavation initiation! Fire at will!
I will lead us to victory.
Alright. Hopefully that worked. Sorry.
Yo!
Something was going wrong.
Alright,
you hearing me now?
Okay, we're back. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, it was doing some weird shit where it kept roboting and I wasn't
I thought I was
even
just being
saying.
too quiet and you couldn't hear me over like You know, me just
No,
not
I was
talking
telling you
too
that I was
long.
gonna. Yeah, I was trying to tell you that I was dropping off, but it wasn't coming through. So I finally just said, "All right, I'm just gonna drop off because it's obviously not getting through."
Oh yeah.
So I was trying to tell you what I was doing, but it wouldn't even. They couldn't even get that much out. So I was like, "Fuck it, just reset everything and come back, and hopefully it's working." What about Kellogg's? I heard Kellogg's.
Oh yeah, they're
dropped
getting
off.
boycotted, right? So they started taking their fucking logo off of their products. So like, they took the fucking Kellogg's logo off of Pop-Tarts and stuff.
I'm on fire.
It's fucking
Oh,
crazy.
right. What was the boycott for? I forget.
They were the ones that were like, oh, what is it, you're too poor to afford food? Just buy fucking cereal and eat that for dinner now.
Oh, yeah, Jesus, that's right. Now I remember.
Just sitting there. Get it moving.
It's very fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's just like the dumbest shit. But like for some reason they announced they're gonna boycott them starting on the 1st. Plus there's just this whole mess of
I don't take kindly to being
fucking
knocked down.
what do you call it? Businesses that are not allowed to buy from because of the whole Gaza Strip bullshit. And any company that doesn't like just try to do everything they can to fuck over Israel is now like persona non grata with the lefty loonies. And they'll cut their nose off to spite their face by just not buying anything. It's crazy.
Yeah, the left seems like it's very divided on that though too. Like there are people that are like super pro-Jewish, that are Israel. There's people that are super, mostly pro-Gaza or pro-Palestinian. But like there's a lot that are kind of pro-Jewish too.
Look, I'm pro. Let's stop the killing. So if Gaza gives back the fucking hostages
You're
and then Israel stops killing people, I think that's a fair solution.
You're both terrible. both sides are terrible.
Well,
both of
to
you
be
knock
fair,
it
I
off.
do think that Hamas picked the fight. They went in and unprovoked,
Yeah.
a fucking concert full of civilians and took hostages. And I think that Israel has every right to be over there doing what they're doing. But it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, we want the whole thing to stop, but both sides have to give. It's not just Israel should just be like, oh well, we'll just let them, rape and murder and torture 140 of our citizens for the sake of peace. It's like, no, that's not how that works. Like it has to be both sides willing to to give in.
It's like that.
Yeah, I don't know. That whole thing is crazy though.
That clip from the Zohan movie where they're like, they've been at it for 2,000 years. It can't be much longer before it's over.
Oh yeah.
They've hated each other for thousands of years, but it can't be much longer, right?
I'm sure it'll be.
It's just going to keep going on forever.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
Oh, absolutely. What are you talking about? Oregon is now shutting down small farms.
I saw that, but I didn't watch the video.
So they're using water rights. What they're doing is they're lying about the impact of farms that have like somebody that has like 5 cows in their farm and is draining all the stuff through like they have gravel flooring instead of having like these expensive like hundreds of thousands of dollars like drainage things.
All right.
Rains from above.
And so they're using that as an excuse to shut down all these farms and basically take away their ability to operate.
And then the big factory farms will be fine very soon.
Yep, because they've already got that stuff installed. So, but essentially, it's a way to take away more and more of the food we're growing ourselves and make it so we have to buy stuff from China. Because if you look at the way beef is done here in the United States, it's one of those things.
Coming through.
Yeah.
It's absolutely absolutely fucking bonkers. Because why would you do that? You're damaging your own nation's potential to take care of themselves. There was
and making
also a push
dependent on a
to
country.
shut down people's gardens. The dumbest thing I've ever heard. They were saying that that home gardening produces more carbon than any form of industrial farming. And it's like, that's just not true. Like, anybody who has the most basic understanding of science would be like, well, no, obviously that's not true. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't even bother looking that up.
Yeah, a home garden is one of the most like normal eco-friendly things you could possibly do. You know, like it's just silly, the shit that people are saying, and it's so gross. But you know, that's all part of the Chinese push to like take away our ability to support ourselves, so that we have to like rely on their government. And then you look at the way their country is run, and that should terrify people. Like
I was gonna say
it's murder season right now in China.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if there's one country that I had to pick, to not be dependent on, that would be the one that I would most not want to be dependent on.
Yeah. Well, like right now in China, there's a huge trend starting of people just driving their cars through crowds of people, and it's been a big issue for a long time. And it's like every year around this time, it's murder season. People just go crazy and start driving cars through people, which makes you wonder. It's almost like guns have absolutely nothing to do with mass murder.
Yeah, it's almost like they're going to find some way. Those people that are prone to do that shit are going to find a way to do it.
And it's essentially, it quite often targets younger or children. Younger people or children, so people in their early teens or maybe at the most their 20s, and little kids. And it's people who are dissatisfied with their life and unhappy with how their lot has turned out, and they're going to be miserable and poor and fucked over forever. So they're like, I'm just going to go out and kill as many fucking people as I can and take away their potential to like make me feel better. Be miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to China.
Indeed.
Oh, you talked about murder season in China?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just like it was one of those things that just like blew my mind. And that this is a constant issue, and that they do everything they can to cover it up is even sadder, because how many people have to like deal with the loss of a loved one, and now they have to pretend that it's not real or get in trouble with the government. Yeah. Like on top of having their loved one murdered. That's fucked up. That's fucking dark.
Well, you can sort of tell there's a growing movement against the government, so that's the thing.
Yeah, I imagine.
Well, did you hear about this this thing that they have, like strangely idolizing the leader there, Xi Jinping?
Oh God!
So like every time he would do something, like he went to go inspect sugarcane fields in China, and so there's this famous picture of him touching them, and so it became a tourist thing, and they encouraged people to go over there and to observe and to take photos and that kind of stuff. They wanted to make it like, yeah, we really like this guy. You know what happened to those sugarcane fields? People started lighting them on fire.
Wow.
So I'm telling you, there's a growing movement against the government over there, and at some point it'll hit a fever pitch. So
they've been expending so many resources fucking over every other country. You know what I mean? Because a lot of this stuff that's going on is being funded by China and Russia. And there's nothing to back China's currency. So I'm sure, like, the inflation here is bad, but it's probably a million times worse in China. We probably just haven't heard anything about it yet because they're keeping it, managing to keep it under wraps or whatever. Or their inflation is always just absolutely awful, so it's kind of hard to notice that it's a big spike in it. But it's got to be driving their inflation up because they've got to be printing money to keep funding the way they're funding. Because they don't have the resources to back it. Yeah, like it's creepy. I
assume that's why they're trying to I assume that's why they're trying to buy so much foreign influence, is they know that their shit's going to eventually crash, and they want to have this influence in other countries or these other income streams or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah, the more we're relying on buying stuff from them, the more money they make, and the more fake products they can sell.
You know what I mean? Like they know there's yeah,
Well,
and they know there's a limit to it, so they got to branch out
it's not
before it
sustainable.
crashes on them.
It's not sustainable for them because like their birth rates are just plummeting.
Oh
Ever
yeah,
since they
that
did
one child policy has really fucking haunted them.
Yeah, even though they've gotten rid of it, it's like now people just
Well,
there's
keep in
not enough.
mind, they just made it so they could have 2 kids instead of 1. It's either 2 or 3 kids now instead of 1. There's still a limit. You know what I mean? There's no like.
In China, they have this system where, it's a cultural kind of thing where like your kids will take care of your parents, like just because that's just the custom.
Similar to Japan, right? Where like you had legally are bound to take care of your parents in their old age.
Now, like who's more likely? Right. So then you ask like who's more likely to take care of you when you get old, a son or a daughter? Well, if you have a daughter and she marries a husband, the husband probably won't make it. Let's say he only makes enough money to support one family, like one grandparents or whatever, like whatever. He'll support his own family. 9 times out of 10.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's the one making all the money in the relationship. It's 100% going to go support his family, as
exactly.
It should.
Right. So, like, but he won't support his in-laws. You see what I'm getting at? Yeah. So the chances. So that's why in order for you to have any kind of retirement, you pretty much have to have a son, and that's why when they did the one-child policy, they only had sons, and so there's an overwhelming amount of men in China, and a really really scarcity of women, and as a result, you don't have a good sustainable society. You don't have a good sustainable birth rate, and most of these guys who really want to have a wife, they can't get them, and the women who are there are well aware of their scarcity, so they're holding up for the Mr. Right, but that being Mr. Rich, but Mr. Rich already has a harem, so it's like you have all these women waiting for the rich guy that they'll never get, and a bunch of guys who want a wife who they'll never get, and as a result,
also keep in mind when it comes to China, there's so many more men than women.
Mm-hmm.
That there's just many men are just never gonna have a wife or a girlfriend or anything because they're just like dealt genetically bad luck or something, and they're just not attractive, or they just don't have enough money to afford to buy the women that they need to get or whatever. It's just like, god damn. Mm-hmm. What a dark fucking situation where you just don't have enough women, which is probably why they're shipping a bunch of fucking military aged men over here, because they're trying to like alleviate that issue somewhat by sending them over into our country through South America and into Mexico.
Well, they also have another problem where they want to keep. They say they want to keep China pure, so they don't want to have like mixed races and that kind of stuff. So they don't allow imports of other people into their country.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they will import their own people outside.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
That's how that works.
Yeah, I assume any Asian women or Chinese women from other countries, they'd be more than happy to take back.
I don't know.
If they're Chinese, I'm sure, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If there's anybody that's ethnically Chinese or whatever.
Well, yes. You have
12,000 marriage offers in 3 hours as soon as we find out you're coming back. Sight unseen.
Yep. Well, and also a lot of the Chinese women are like American women in the respect that they're delusional. Like Samaj was saying earlier, he pointed out they're just delusional about expecting to marry the rich guy, even though that's never going to happen. Because why would the rich guy marry anybody when he's just getting sex from all these women constantly trying to get him? What would be the benefit for him at all of settling down? There's none. Zero in that culture.
Oh my god. Yeah, there was a video of one of the Taylor the Fiend ones where this chick is like illustrating with like Skittles for some reason. But anyway, she was illustrating like, okay, this is the pool of men. All right, you want them to be at least 6'2", and that takes away like 93% or whatever. You want them to make at least $200,000 a year. Fucking, you know what I mean? It gets down to like 1/10% of guys.
Yeah, there's like a fucking tiny little piece of Skittle left. There's not even a whole one. It's just like fucking half a Skittle.
Yeah.
It's like a half a Skittle surrounded by like 100 M&Ms, and they're going like, I don't understand why I can't find him. The one that gets me, and I don't understand what it is the height thing. Like, that's the one that makes the least sense to me. Like, if a guy's 5'10" instead of like 6'2" or something, he's just not worth anything. That's fucking weird. Maybe it's because I'm 6 foot and I've never had to deal with it, but I've never had anything. I've never seen anybody say anything about height being like a requirement. Like, I've had a lot of friends that were female, and I've never heard them talk about has to be a tall guy. So that is that a new thing or something? Because I even when I was growing up, it was kind of like, oh yeah, if you're a short person, it's like we joke about it, but nobody really gave a shit. You know what I mean? Like girls would date guys that were shorter than when I was in high school. That was never a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just
Yeah,
normal.
I don't know. I feel like part of it is the I don't know. Like they want to be smaller than the guy for like cuddling purposes or something.
I think part of the problem with a lot of women, especially on dating apps, is that it sort of it gives out certain information that normally wouldn't really matter. Like the height thing, women prefer a guy that's just taller than them on average. They don't really, when you boil it down, they really don't care about the 6 foot thing. It's just like if you're comparing sizes to all these different guys, then you'll always go for the biggest guy, just because you think that they'll give you the greatest value. But in retrospect, let's say if an average guy were to come up to a woman and is legitimately taller than her, but like not too much, but tall enough, she
Like an
won't really
inch
care.
taller, right? Just like an
Yeah,
inch taller.
she won't care in the moment. It won't really matter. But when you're using dating apps, you're not really seeing that. You're seeing the numbers. And that's kind of the problem because it's training a lot of women to think like guys, and we look out for the value and that kind of stuff. Of course, we're also us guys. We like variety, so there is that too.
No, when I'm looking to date, I'm looking for somebody who has similar goals, similar personality, similar interests. You know, like somebody who's gonna I'm gonna get along with and enjoy spending time with, and that we can actually do things together that we both enjoy. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want to date a girl that hates video games. That'd be awful for both of us. But maybe I'm the exception. I don't know. I mean, that's what, you know. At least when I was, that's what I was always looking for. Was just people that I liked spending time with. seemed to make sense because when you're in a relationship, you spend an awful lot of time with that person. But yeah, the dating apps also just make it so that it's all public. And also same with social media too. I think that might be part of it as well. Is it's because women are super competitive with each other all the time. Mm-hmm. So if you could be like, well, my boyfriend's 6'2" and your boyfriend's only 6 foot, like that's a fucking dig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
as dumb as it sounds to
flex.
us. Yeah, I don't know that I'd be like, oh yeah, my girlfriend's 5'9" and yours is only 5'8". Fuck you. I don't think that would ever come up in conversation between two men.
Yeah, that's nuts, dude. But women be nuts.
Oh, I don't know if anybody watched it, but I saw this short clip that was amazing. This lady's asking for money, and she's obviously not like homeless and poor and all that shit. And the guy was like, "Can you suck it? Like, you want money? Can you suck it?" And the look on her fucking face when she was asked to fucking give something of value in return was amazing.
Yeah, it's like, no, you want money, and I want my cock sucked, so let's work something out here.
That was amazing. I love that shit.
I didn't watch it. I just saw the headline, but that's kind of what I figured.
Yep.
I didn't think the guy was just randomly walking up to him. Yeah, it's fucking funny, dude. Okay, yeah. Well, let me tell you what I would like. Let's use we can do a barter system here. How much money would it take for you to suck my cock? And I'll tell you if I'm willing to pay it or not.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
I am liking seeing more and more people in Congress who are saying, like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So the gender lottery nonsense. They're like, I'm not gonna use words that aren't real. I'm not gonna like pretend that people aren't what they are. And I posted a clip of a guy talking about that. And I was like, I like that I'm seeing more and more like representatives and senators who are like standing up for like the basic. Because I think most people would agree with that. Where they're like, yeah, no, that's not true. I'm not gonna do that. It's only on the internet, I think, where people give a shit.
Mm-hmm. You're probably going to see a lot more of that in days to come.
Oh, yeah,
Isn't this an election year for you guys?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. We just voted in the primaries. I'm pretty sure that the next is in November, the elections.
So are you surprised Joe Biden made it this far? You didn't think he just sort of died?
I'm genuinely amazed he didn't pass away. Because he was looking fucking rough.
I'll be honest, in my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, I'm pretty sure he's already dead. I'm pretty sure
he's just a fucking like bunch of fucking rats living in a body, carrying it around.
Kinda. Well, okay. In all the various different things that I go to, the groups I'm a part of, the things I see, there's this like horrifying video of like a Joe Biden mask. Don't know who posted it. Don't know where it came from. Looked fucking real. I'm like, God damn it. So anyone could put this on and then pretend to be Joe Biden. I mean, that's entirely possible.
Oh, like the fucking, yeah, because there are some pretty crazy masks out there now. They are pretty good at that.
Well, there's like some video of Nancy Pelosi. If you slow it down, it looks like she's wearing a fucking mask because the
I'm pretty sure she's a lich.
Yeah.
A lot of these people are like undead, in my opinion, for sure. You're not wrong.
Well, certainly when Hillary Clinton was running, I mean, look at all the necromancy she pulled off to get all those voters, all those dead people voting for her. Like, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah, all the dead people voted for the Democrats for some reason that year.
How'd that work out?
Dude, I don't know if that shit's... I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens this year, because you know there's going to be at least a pretty massive amount of fraud. Like, that's just... There's no way... Like, that's not going to happen. But, yeah, I don't know.
We have a similar thing going on here in Canada. Well, a very different election thing, because it used to be election day was just a day. Trudeau's pulling this thing where like it's not going to last for a day. He says we got to give everyone an opportunity. He says it's going to last for a week. It's going to be an election week where every day you can vote. Like that's not that's right for all kinds of manipulation. Same thing where he expanded mail-in voting. Okay, that's right for abuse. And the same thing with the electric voting machines.
Oh yeah, it's gotten to the point where whatever party gets in power, whenever the Democrats get in power, I should say, the Communist Party, I guess you could call them at this point. Whenever they're in power, it's just like an immediate like, what can we do to prevent people from being able to vote us out of office? It's never like, what can we do to like make people want to keep us in office? It's just, how can we make it so the voters don't have a choice, or so that we can rig the votes the most effective way possible?
Yep.
Sad.
Yep. Look what they're doing to Donald Trump. Look how much they're trying to destroy the man.
Oh yeah, they just literally are using the court system as a way to just steal his money. Like it's fucking gross. It's hard to imagine what that would be like, because you know we don't have that kind of wealth, but Like, they're literally just stealing millions of dollars without him even getting the chance for, like, so much as a criminal, like, defense.
That's right. Not a single
It's
victim
like,
in the whole
we
thing.
acknowledge that you're not guilty of this crime, but we're going to take, $300 million and give it to this lady because she cried on camera a couple times. Like, well, okay, I guess. No, that's fucking bullshit. Like, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
I posted the clip of the bitch I was talking about. Shit, am I still on?
Yeah. Can you not hear us? Or?
Yeah, I posted the clip. Yeah, I'm just making sure. I thought I fell off. What I posted, the chick in the thumbnail is not the bitch that I was talking about. If you play the video, it's just a 15-second clip of the fucking bitch that's talking about how she won't date a guy that's less than 200K. And I'm pretty sure it's not just that black women aren't my favorite, but she seems like she's exceptionally unattractive. But
one of
maybe
the
it's just
things
me.
I've noticed is a lot of those podcasts or whatever where they just get women on to like make fun of their things. Like they're always unattractive women, like weirdly.
Yeah. This one though, I think it's almost got to be fake. She is so fine. Just play, dude. It's literally queued up right.
Trying to struggle.
She has a
I can
mustache.
struggle by myself. Okay. You guys to know.
Scott, I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not pretty sure. I wish I was absolutely positive it's fake.
That don't even make no sense.
And there is a good chance it is, just because again,
I've
she
seen that
cannot be
clip
that
before.
delusional,
She's
right?
one of the ugliest people I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The
So I'm
personality,
thinking,
but like the looks alone, just on bare looks, the personality makes her fucking hideous. But just on looks alone, she's just fucking ugly. Like, there's not a lot of guys who are like, I'm into that. Or like the fucking fat chick who thinks she's like a 10,
Oh yeah, there she is. Yeah, Jabba the Slut. I remember Jabba the Slut.
Did you see the fucking clip of the girl that was hanging out with her trying to be cute for the camera and pretending to smell her butt? When she was getting out of something or standing up with something in front of her?
You know I'm trying to eat popcorn, right? Shut the fuck up.
Wait, which one are you talking about? The Jabba the Slut one?
Yeah, some girl thought it would be cool to get up behind her and do like this whole bit about smelling her butt like she was super hot, like you would want to or something.
Oh Jesus, dude!
It was kind of dumb. It was like, no, we all know she's horrifically unattractive. Like no one's confused here, but you, sweetie.
Yeah. Jabba the Slut's just perfect, I think. Because she does kind of like her face looks kind of stretched out, like how Jabba's kind of stretched.
Oh, yeah. Well, what gets me is she getting laid? I'm curious. Like, is she genuinely getting laid? Or like, is that, like, pretty rare for her?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, any woman, again, we've had this discussion before, should not be able to get any dick at all.
No, I'm not talking on a scale of men to women. I'm talking on a scale for women. Like, compared to other women that are sluts, is she getting laid like they are, or is it pretty rare comparatively? That's what I'm saying.
I can't imagine she's catching a lot of dick.
Yeah, like, I'm sure she's getting
But there were guys
that'll do it. I know that. That's not what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Specifically talking about in relation to the other whores. That's such a dumb fucking comparison to have to make. But, just to be clear.
It would be difficult for her to find company.
Like
be,
Paris Hilton.
friends.
Paris Hilton is probably, a little bit more famous, but arguably about the same, like, relatively level of fame. People kind of know who she is, and she's, like, she'll get you into the fucking clubs or whatever. So I'm sure there's a lot more, but I'm sure there's a lot longer line of dudes who are, like, going for that than they are for her. Like, that just doesn't make any sense any other way in my head. and the dudes she's hooking up with are definitely not 10s. Like, let's not fucking pretend.
Yeah.
Like, they're not the hot guys in the room.
That's the delusion of chicks like her, because they're like, well, I can get guys to fuck me. No, yeah, guys will like pussy's great. Guys will fuck anything. I mean,
Guys
they
will
don't have
fuck
the
pieces
options,
of
that's
fruit.
better
Guys
for
will
you.
fuck fucking pastries. We all saw the American Pie movie. We all know that's based on a true story. Some kid fake fucked an apple pie at some point, no doubt. Like, let's not pretend.
Right.
Guys will fuck like
Yeah.
If you put pussies on like stuffed animals, there are guys out there that will fuck that. You know, like it's ridiculous. The urge to fuck things is really strong in most males.
Yeah, like I said, you have to be unappealing on like all fucking all levels of the senses. So sight, sound, fucking smell, taste, whatever. Yeah, you have to be really fucking disgusting before you get to the point where no guy is gonna want to fuck you.
There was a porn star that was telling a story about her being on set early in her career before she realized that, yeah, I can make money, but it's not always worth it for whatever they're asking of you. Like, before she realized you need to be a little more discerning about what roles you take in the porn industry. And she was there, and the other girl that showed up on set who was going to get eaten out that day had fucking not bathed at least a couple of days and had period blood all over her fucking cooch.
Oh, God,
and the guy was trying to go down on her, right?
Right.
And he fucking threw up. And then kept going. It's really hard to get a job in the porn industry if you're a dude and you fucking like walk off a set.
Yeah, yeah, especially
so that could
the guys.
be the end of his career as a guy. Not whereas she can show up like that as a chick, like that's just perfectly fine. So she put fucking vanilla ice cream on it. Was just like the whole thing sounded disgusting, and it was like. But I think that demonstrates like the lengths that men will go to. Comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. Guys will do some crazy shit. Like,
yeah. Yeah, dudes will put up with a lot. That's for fucking sure.
So it was kind of. That was one of the more gross things I've heard in my life. But I think everybody understands exactly, like, oh yeah, no, that's why guys will do it.
Yeah, if it was reversed and it was like a fucking, girl doing it to a guy that's all fucking schmegma'd out or whatever and his dick's just dirty, like that's not nearly as believable.
Yeah, exactly. Although that probably happens in some of the more abusive relationships out there, where there's like girls are dating the guys that like beat them and shit. Wouldn't surprise me if that's part of what those kind of guys do.
Yeah, or there's people out there with those fetishes. Like, yeah, no, it's got to be completely disgusting, or I can't get hard.
Didn't they have like who was it? Damn it, I already forgot. But there was I swear there was like a cartoon or something where like there was a guy who was just absolutely disgusting, and this lady like was just fucking into it. Like she hated it so much, publicly, but then like in her private life she wanted to be with disgusting people. Oh, what was it? It was Fry, I think it was.
I know there was a Futurama episode.
Yeah, there was a Futurama episode where Fry there was some lady who was like, "You're disgusting."
Yeah, she was like in charge of the health department.
Like, super into it.
Dirty boy.
Yeah, she's a
dirty boy.
She was a bureaucrat like Hermes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember. Everyone remembers that bitch.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dirty boy, dirty.
Yeah, I remember there was an iconic person in that was kind of like that. So,
if anyone asks, I'll deny the claim and say that you're a liar. And he's like, just like every other girl.
Yeah. Yeah, it always surprised me that Leela was into him, because like it made sense that she was just not at all into that dude for like the longest time, because he was just kind of a fuck up, like an idiot and a fucking gross loser.
Well, I think it's partially because, well, one, they've been together for a long time, like as co-workers and stuff, but also Not many guys tolerate her one eye. It's too freaky and too big.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. She does have the one eye. That actually didn't even occur to me.
Fry's one of the people who's like he actually likes her. He actually likes the oddness of her because he just finds it interesting. Partially also because he's a big sci-fi fan, and he says like a cycloptic woman who's a badass and has an excellent body. It's like that's everything he's ever wanted growing up. So it's like she's essentially his perfect girl.
Oh, who wouldn't want that? Cyclops? Hell yeah.
Well, and according
I'll
to
be
the
honest, that wouldn't bother me at all if a chick had one eye. I would just be like, whatever. As long as she wasn't a cunt, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, she kind of was at times. That's mostly because that was her job. Like, she had to be the boss and everything. But a lot of times, she really wanted to be feminine, which I think is very a redeeming thing because she was kind of a counterculture thing. Because the thing at the time was like, a strong, independent woman who don't need no man, and that's kind of her underlying things. Like, I really want a man. I really want to just be a woman.
Well, that character worked so well because it's true. That's the reality. The fiction is the other way around. You know what I mean?
Yep. And that's part of the reason why like she's stood the test of time because everyone likes Leela.
It's also like when in a lot of sitcoms the guy will pretend that he's miserable being married, but we all know he'd rather be married than like fucking single. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wants to be able to come home to his wife and not have to go fucking chase and tail every weekend or something and, have that comfort of a relationship and somebody who's gonna, like, want to see him. Yep.
By the way, I heard this interesting little clip about male suicide, which I never really thought about because... And Tim Pool, if you ever watch his thing, he brings this up all the time about some guys they just kill themselves one day. It's like just no good reasons. Like, oh yeah, good job, good family. Just one day, just kill themselves. And it was on I think it was on the Whatever podcast. He had this guy who was like or at least I think it was there. But yeah, he was a psychologist and he was talking about like men and women behaviors and mindsets. And essentially, what it boils down to is that part of the reason why guys just all of a sudden kill themselves. It's because they don't really see it an out. In other words, they're so logical in that they know what the things that they want. And they see that the way their life is and the responsibilities they've taken on is such that they can never get what they want. Never. Like Dave Chappelle has this comedy skit about this guy who's just brilliant, smart guy, great in every subject in school. One day he knocks up his girlfriend, so he gets a job at Walmart. Gets promoted, and then if he keeps going where he is, he can probably be a manager, and then in like 4 to 5 years time, he can probably be a regional manager, which means he'll run 3 Walmarts, and we realize that's essentially the only path he has. He fucking killed himself.
Yeah,
yeah. So when you look at all these guys and the male suicide, it's like that's actually a lot. That makes a lot more sense than I ever really imagined.
Well, it actually kind of does, sadly.
Yeah. Well, it's like men have urges, like to go out and get laid, that kind of stuff. But then what comes with that is the responsibility if a child come from there. And then at that point, then you're stuck. Like, well, it is what it is. You can't fight your urges, but at the same time, it's like your desire to move forward is also there. Can you imagine if a lot of guys didn't have all these responsibilities, what their life could have been like? Like, and not to mention, like, even if, like, let's say, like, you want basic things like a car, a house, you have to make payments on those things. Because a car will get you from place to place, but you gotta pay it off. So you gotta make up all this money. Yeah, so it's like you get set in your ways, and then every little bit that you get is always like maybe you'll get a raise or something else, but then you have something else you got to pay for. It's like you're never really going to move forward. That's a really sad thing when you think about it, and that's why a lot of guys kill themselves.
Well, it depends. If you're content with how your life is going, that's not a sad thing. If you had always entertained hopes and dreams and plans of going much further than wherever you are in life, then yeah, that would be really sad. It just depends on the person, like whether or not that's what their goal was. Because some people, they just want to be that manager at Walmart. They're not interested, you know. They don't want to go and be like the regional manager. They're not looking to be famous. They're more than happy doing that, and then they'd rather just go do other things on their time off. You know, they're just, whatever job it is, it pays the bills, and it allows me to go do stuff that I want to do when I'm not at work, which is all that really matters to me. Like, I get to go fishing on the weekends, or hunting, or camping, or I get to go fucking see, these concerts or whatever. Like, that's,
I think you're right. I think...
But yeah, it makes sense that the guys who have that more further interests would definitely be like, all right, it's fucking over. Like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. I think like some guys function well, some guys don't. Some guys have like big plans, and then when those plans get interrupted, it's like, well, what's the point?
Yeah. Once they realize like there's nothing they can do that's going to change what their situation is, and they're miserable. That's the key, though, is that you have to also be miserable, because some guys are not miserable there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to be the fucking Walmart guy, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, considering how Walmart functions, I mean, yeah.
Well, Walmart fucking, most of their employee, compensation is done from the government anyway, so that's one of those things when like people go back and forth over like capitalism and communism and stuff. It's like the communists always point out things like Walmart, and it's like, but Walmart's not capitalism. Like, most of their employee cost is picked up by the state. Like, that's not capitalism. Like them and McDonald's. What was it like? I forget what the numbers were. I wonder if I can find them real quick. Percent.
But yeah, they pay everyone just low enough to where they still qualify for all government benefits, basically. That's why they don't let them work overtime or any of that shit.
So, yeah, 14,500 workers are receiving benefits from Walmart, and that's in 2020. I'm sure that's only gone up as inflation and other things have changed all of that stuff. Like McDonald's, 8,780 had stuff, and I'm not seeing the rest of them. A lot of other companies do the same thing. It's insane.
Oh, going back to the male suicide thing, good part of it too is kind of the difference between what men and women value
than women.
What they bring. Well, the things that are going to really fuck with a man, for if they feel like they're not doing properly, as opposed to what a woman would be in the same situation is different.
Oh,
for men,
okay. I see what you're saying. I thought you were going to talk about that men are better at killing themselves.
No, just again, if a man is going to feel most inadequate if you're telling him he's not providing enough, like he's not making enough money or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
For women, it's the like fucking up something, like the how could you be so stupid kind of thing. Like, how could you be so stupid to do that when something that fucks up, their family situation somehow. Like, again, for men, it's what they provide, and for women, it's, kind of how they run shit. And if they do something really stupid, that fucks with them the same way it fucks with men not feeling like they make enough money and that kind of shit.
Well, men have the urge to provide, and women in general have the urge to maintain the copaceticness of the tribe. So like they're generally driven by making sure everybody is on the same page and working together
extra things
and
about
getting
it.
along. Like that's a big part of what drives women is everybody's got to get along. Like look at that bullshit accusation from the chick to the guy for like the sexual assault thing, where she got up and sat back down with him to cuddle more several times throughout the evening, and stayed after her friends left for like 4 more hours. You know, like, and her whole thing was, well, it was socially, you know, it was socially awkward. It was socially awkward. It's like, that makes sense to a girl, but like, obviously, no guy on the planet is going to be like, oh yeah, that's totally normal. No, because it's bullshit. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
But to a lot of women, that's an emotionally triggering thing, where they go, no, I understand. You can't make everybody in the room hate you. No, that's totally unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have to say anything. He should just know because it makes you uncomfortable, and he should realize that by looking at your body language. And it's like,
the way you're not letting him know in any way that you're uncomfortable. He should just know.
Yeah, but it's that urge to keep the tribe together, to keep everybody happy and getting along.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's it's like look at the difference between like a mom and a dad when you have brothers that are fighting, like little brothers or little sisters or whatever, they're fighting each other. The kids, the dads are like, hey, let them fight. They'll work it out. Like unless it gets real crazy, you let them fucking get a little bit of fucking punching in there so that they work off the steam, and they'll figure it out and have more respect for each other once they've established who's bigger and who's tougher.
Like that one guy said in the American Godzilla movie, "Let them fight."
Yeah. Whereas, like, the woman in the house will be like, no, they can't fight. We have to have them all talk about it. We have to sit down and talk about our feelings. And it's like, sometimes that's the right answer, but a lot of the times it's not. But you kind of need both perspectives to have a good society, too. Like, there's places and times where you need to figure out how to make people get along. But there's also places and times where you just have to look at, no, we just have to provide. Like, we have to put aside all the other bullshit and make sure people are, like, surviving. Like, that's the thing. We don't want them dying for the sake of, like, politeness.
Let them fight. Sorry, I just think it's funny. Just let the kids fight. That's what I do. Parent of the year, I tell you what.
Seriously, man. Like, if you have two, like, especially if you have two boys, they're going to keep fighting no matter what until they've figured out who's stronger. If they get to that point, like, that's just going to happen. And you kind of have to let them work it out.
I agree 100%. Just let them go at it.
If you have two girls, or make rules, give them boxing gloves, so that there's no, like, serious damage, but then they work it out. But if you have, like, two girls that are always fighting, you can sit down and have them talk it out most of the time.
Yeah. Let them fight. I say I think the idea of letting the kids fight is a great idea.
Toddler fight club, that's what we need. like ultimate fighting, but with little kids.
Put on pay-per-view.
Hell yeah! You know how many people would watch that shit? Everybody would want to watch that shit.
One kill, get a bloody nose and start crying, and then the other one will cry because he knows he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody on the watching it'll just be laughing their balls off,
No one. In the end, no one will be happy.
Ultimate fighting toddlers.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, this is gonna be big money, guys. Let's go. I'm sure lots of parents want to have their kids in the UFT. No, they're
other
parents,
countries,
but
lots of parents. Not that young. But dude, in some countries, kids are fighting at very young ages, dude. Like, it's fucking nuts. And they're fighting like 4, 5, 6 years old.
Oh yeah.
Gotta get them young.
Because again, I guess a lot of them are like, well, this is the only chance. This is what do you call it? This is their only chance. It's kind of like how, like in the Dominican Republic, it's like if you don't make it in baseball, like you're just going to stay poor.
Because everybody in the
That's why there's a
Dominican Republic
lot
is
of
poor.
Dominican players. Yeah.
Yep, a lot of basketball players from the hood. Enough basketball players from the hood that they have to have special classes for the basketball players where they're like, look, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get all this money. Here's what you don't want to do because then it'll mean you have no money later on when you're going to die and you'll be fucking poor and we won't fucking help you anymore. You know,
yeah, the amount of professional athletes that have to declare bankruptcy within like a year or two of retirement. Yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude.
Well, and
they're like,
usually
I'm
the
gonna
only
make
ones you
$5
hear
million,
about
$10
are the
million a year
extremely
forever.
well-paid ones. But all the, like, there's a lot of professional athletes that aren't really that famous. Like, they're famous, but they're not super famous, and they're only making, like, maybe $1 million a year compared to the 20 or 30 that, like, a LeBron James is making every year. You know, like, those guys are the ones that really get fucked over because they didn't have a lot to start with, but they try to ball just as hard.
Yeah, I've heard stories about like Allen Iverson, like begging for change at fucking malls and shit, and he was one of the highest paid players for fucking quite a while.
Damn,
and
are
like
you serious?
they still get like
I even recognize the name. I couldn't tell you what sport he plays, but the name is very
But yeah, no, he's and they even get like a pension. Like no matter, even if they made a shitload of money, if they played like, I think they only have to play like 4 years, and you get like a decent pension. But he's so bad with money that shit's gone within a few months or whatever, and then like the rest of the year he's just broke. Yeah, I don't know if that's still the case. I would hope by now he's fucking figured shit out. But yeah, that guy was probably made a good, at least I would say a conservative estimate. He had to have made at least $200 million in his career just from the team, not even factoring in fucking endorsements and shit. He must have made at least $200 million overall from just playing in the NBA. And that dude's fucking begging for change half the year or whatever. Or again, I haven't checked on it in a long time, but that happened apparently at some point. Which the fact that it ever happened is just fucking nuts. Although I also, he is just a fucking idiot because apparently he sold like a.
That's a fucking story from The Onion.
Did he always play for Philly?
The Iverson story is from the fucking Onion, dude.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was from the News Nerd, which is a satirical
site like
The Onion, yeah.
Huh. God damn it.
Don't worry.
I was going to say, the other thing I'd heard is apparently he had sold his house to like another basketball player, and like the basketball player moves in and shit and goes into the garage, and there's like a fucking brand new Mercedes that they had just left in the fucking garage that they forgot about.
Oh, wow. Whoops, forgot about that $1 million fucking vehicle.
Yeah. All right.
Don't worry about it, man. They get me sometimes too. I remember that one story.
I've been got by those fucking stories. Yeah.
Well, I remember there was the one story about this new execution device that would literally twist off the head of a person.
Oh no, that does sound like a Texas thing. Like I would legitimately, if they were saying Texas developed an execution technique to twist the head off the person, I'd be like, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It got me got me when I saw that. Let me see if I can find it. It was such a bizarre thing, but yeah, it got me. I thought it was real, and I think it was because there was like a thing in Texas, like because they were talking about bringing back firing squads. They said no, we can't do that. And then they thought, well, okay, we have to do some execution, and that was also when the place where we got their lethal injection sites was sort of done away with because they said, yeah, you can't. it's unethical. The company was making like the lethal injections. So yeah, it's unethical. We can't do this.
Yeah.
And then they tried making their own, and turns out like their own the person's own concoction was more horrific, partially because they put in something that would it would like knock them out, like paralyze them, but it wouldn't make the pain go away, and it would actually like be they wouldn't react, but they would still be alive and in a lot of pain as they're dying.
So murderers could potentially suffer in an extreme amount of pain that they have no way of stopping before they die. That's awful.
Oh yeah. I mean, like
What a
there's definitely
terrible thing to do. I can't, that's so unconscionable. What an awful plan. Why would you ever not want to do that? I mean, if all you have to do is inject them and they get to suffer terribly before they die, knowing they're going to die the whole time, that's pretty awesome, actually. Maybe you save that for the cases where it's just absolutely cut and dry, like there's no chance it was anyone else. Everybody saw the guy do it. But goddamn, I think that'd be pretty reasonable. I like the idea of the head twisting off machine if we were doing public executions. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like that would actually make perfect sense if it was like a public thing. Like, we found this guy molesting children. Okay, twist his fucking head off on TV.
Well, and that might come back in places like New York or something. You never know.
Yeah, well, I mean, New York, it wouldn't surprise me if New York swings all the way conservative eventually.
Well, look at what's going on in New York. Holy hell. They are, like, I hear about them a lot.
Do you hear about the punching women thing?
Yep.
Like,
yep.
it's this massive, massive wave of just a bunch of women just getting punched in the face.
And I remember listening to some of that, and some of them were like, they can't even say who it is because they don't want to come off as racist, but it's like, bitch, you know who hit you. You know who hit you.
Oh, they all know. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
It's the fucking African immigrant, like, guy that's running around. They have pictures of the guy. Some of the women took pictures.
Yeah,
but
they
it's
can't.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, but they can't say because it's like, oh, it's racist to say it. But it's like, is it? Is it?
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with the left. Like, the facts become racist because they're just inconvenient to whatever story they want you to pretend to believe.
Yeah.
You know? It's like the fact is that the vast majority of things that are stolen are not household goods that people needed to get by or food because they were starving. It's just a bunch of garbage people stealing shit they want or that they can sell to buy stuff that they want. Drugs most of the time, or alcohol. You know, they're not stealing fucking bread and milk and eggs and butter like everybody wants to pretend, and they're just a bunch of pieces of shit. And even the ones stealing baby formula are stealing it so they can sell it at a markup to the fucking other people because they have all the baby formula now. The whole thing is nuts. But they want to pretend that, like, you know, that they were justified in saying that anybody can just steal what they want from a store because they were poor, instead of, like, they're just mad that the stores make a lot of money and don't pay their employees fairly, and instead of actually addressing the real problem, there you go.
There you go.
Can you fucking imagine if you...
All right, so that specific story about Iverson was...
Oh, about the Iverson thing? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that was obviously fake, but he definitely had fucking issues with finances. Apparently, at one point, like, he was fucking bitching out his ex-wife, and he was like, I only have enough money for a cheeseburger right now. And she gave him, like, $60 for a cheeseburger or whatever. So, yeah, I posted that, yeah. So, that, like I said, that specific story may have been fake, but, yeah, he made... hundreds of millions of dollars.
Well, plenty of celebrities have lost tons and tons of money. Allen Iverson would not be the first one. You know, what's his name?
Yeah.
MC Hammer, I think is probably one of the more famous ones.
Yeah, he was one of the first ones, right?
Where he was really, really
God damn, that guy
famous,
was
and then
looking.
he ended up broke for a really long time, and then he ended up being like a preacher, turned to God, and started doing the grift of preaching and then like a mega church kind of thing.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah, his rap career kind of went back and forth on gangsta shit to fucking preachy shit, and then back to gangsta. Yeah.
Speaking of
So it
that,
makes sense he did it in his real life too.
yeah, speaking of the whole gangster stuff, have you guys been hearing about the whole stuff going on in the rap community right now? With the who was the recent one? Was it P Diddy?
Yeah. Oh, you mean with P Diddy?
Yeah, well, and then there's accusations going out toward. Yeah, now there's also accusations going towards Jay Z
Oh no!
about similar things. And here's the thing, because now this other thing is being brought up that they're also saying that all of this was a CIA ploy. They're literally
Wait,
doing.
so what are
just,
the accusations? I haven't heard of
all right,
these.
all right, so the accusations are well, actually, some are leading the charges with Jay Z, not Jay Z. Who's the other? P Diddy. Is that yeah? He's forgive me, I'm still
Sean
recovering
Puffy
from a
Combs.
cold. Yeah, is that he was trafficking underage women, and they're in
because
his
if
home.
you get a hooker that was brought across straight lines, you're accused of trafficking.
Well, they were all underage, and they're all saying that they're there for training to be singers and stuff. In other words, he's offering them to say, "Hey, well, I'll teach you how to make it in the industry." Well, essentially trafficking underage girls, and that was the general idea. Now, granted, I don't know how far that's going to go. We'll see. But then similar accusations are being brought up against Jay-Z about underage girls and all that. So, and then the thing that's being put up also in the media is that a lot of this was a CIA thing because they were planning on trafficking kids and using celebrities to do so. So that's kind of interesting. And people who got out
the Border
of
Patrol is aiding and abetting traffickers at this point.
And see, there you go.
They pick up the kids at the border that are alone and with no one else, and just they got a phone number on their arm. Guess we better just call that number and deliver them to that place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I heard of that.
Surprise
Shit,
me if
dude.
the CIA
They
was
literally
involved.
private.
So yeah, so a lot of that, a lot of that's going on with celebrities right now with the rap industry. But then other people who used to be in the rap industry, I can't remember their names, but they're also saying they're not surprised. It's been going on for a while. Gangster rap itself was a product of the CIA to try to increase the crime in the black community and create black homeless families or fatherless families. The whole kind of thing. All gangster rap was a CIA plan. Because rap itself as a genre was never supposed to be like this. Never supposed to be like this whole violent kind of thing. But it's one of the only things that gets promoted in the black community, in the black rap kind of thing. To see a black artist try to do something else other than rap, it's like, well, why? Why would you want to be like a country singer or something? Even though there's plenty of black people who do want to do that kind of stuff, a lot of them don't get promoted. They get pigeonholed into doing gangster rap. It's like, oh, you want to do death metal? Well, the closest thing that you can do is gangster rap, and that's like the only thing that studios will do, which is kind of weird. Because guess what? There's plenty of black people who like all kinds of music, from pop music to country, but a lot of them don't get to sign up for that kind of stuff. They're not allowed to, which is kind of weird. Like I didn't even think about it that way. I just thought like that's what they wanted because like it's easy money or something. But no, it turns out it seems like it's a CIA thing. Now, granted, all this is alleged. We'll know more as time goes on, but at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. So, there's a fracture in the rap community, if you will, with the whole stuff. Apparently, they're all playing the blame game. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out as that. So that's just my tinfoil hat assumption. I'm hearing stuff on the internet.
We'll find out. I'm sure that's an interesting. It'd be interesting to see how it shakes out in the end.
Well, considering that there's this like depopulation agenda that's been going on, that's been brought out into the open, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised in this place. And it's been going on for quite a long time.
Yeah, the depopulation thing has sadly been going on for quite a long time.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if all the people behind that were brought out into the open and then publicly executed.
Well, for that, it'll be hard to pick them all out because they're all going to play the blame game.
Oh, it wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
Yeah. Oh, it's not the World Economic Forum. It's Putin, don't you know? Yeah. So at this point, because they're well aware that heads are going to roll.
Well, you kind of got to wonder if they weren't aiming for a snapback like this. Because as long as they maintain power, that's ultimately all they give a shit about. These people, these groups of people. So you kind of got to wonder if do they already have plans in place to sacrifice a few basically worthless pawns that had nothing to do with anything, and then continue on with the same agenda, just in a with a slightly different rhetoric to go through the conservatives instead of the liberals. You know what I mean? Because you see all those what's his fucking face? The guy that looks like the fucking turtle. He looks like a cross between an evil fucking Sith Lord and a turtle. Mitch McConnell, I think it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you see that kind of guy, that's their Republican. He's obviously not a conservative on the side of actual conservatives. He's one of their guys who's pretending to be a conservative. A lot of them pretend to be liberals. It's just it's the corporate.
Yeah, it's just the globalists. Yeah, the globalists all pretend to be either Democrats or Republicans or whatever.
Yeah. They had one that was running against Trump, trying to pretend to be the conservative woman. Oh, I'm a conservative woman. It's just bullshit. She's just a fucking
dude. Mitch McConnell, because he's in charge of the funds or whatever for the Republican Party. Apparently, the race in Alaska, there were 2 Republican candidates. Both of them were Republicans. One of them was a Trump Republican, and the other was a fucking establishment fucking asshole or whatever. He put a shitload of money into making sure the non-Trump guy won that election. And it was between 2 conservatives. It was between 2 Republicans.
Yep.
Yeah, McConnell's a piece of fucking shit. Globalist piece of shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
I kind of wonder that even if this snapback goes and we get Trump back in power and the Republicans start, gaining more momentum and hopefully picking up enough, power in Congress to really make some changes and then maybe stay popular for a few more cycles. If that's not something they've already planned on and have a plan in place to just take that group of people over instead. The liberals are out of power. We'll just start concentrating on taking over the Republicans from the inside and keep doing the same shit just with them instead.
Yeah, bring in a bunch of useful idiots like AOC.
Whatever the conservative version of AOC is. That would be Candace Owens. That's easy.
Yeah.
Suddenly Candace Owens is running for office, and it's she's the same thing as AOC. She's just there for money. She didn't care what she has to sell. She'll sell whatever she has to make the money.
Yeah, it would not be shocking.
Ben Shapiro is similar in a similar camp.
Yeah, anyone at the Daily Wire are just a bunch of fucking grifting faggots, dude. Do not really give a shit. They might be espousing something close to their political beliefs or whatever, but for the most part, they're there to make money.
I will believe they genuinely support Israel. That's about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, Shapiro makes it very clear that his main fucking allegiance over anything else is to Israel and to Jews.
Yeah.
More than America or anything else. That's pretty obvious.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's all about O.J. Simpson. He's supporting the juice. No.
Oh, God. But yeah, even the ones that are the Christians, they're just Christian grifters too. Matt Walsh, dude, he's a fucking. I fucking hate that guy, dude. I feel like Knowles and Saban.
Well, did you hear?
It's kind of been corrupted, but I think Walsh was just always a grifter.
Oh, yeah.
You know, for the Christian shit.
Well, there's a bit of a divide going on in the conservative movement right now. I don't know if you guys heard about the whole stuff going on with Steven Crowder.
Yes, I thought that was the most absurd nonsense that no one should care about.
Well, it's like essentially like it seemed weird that everyone was sort of like on the side of like, yeah, Crowder's an abuser. It's like, you've been working with this guy for a long time. Why are you making these assumptions? Why are you all saying this? And then a whole
why
bunch.
now?
Yeah, why now? And then you also find out that a bunch of Crowder's former employees are also saying the same thing. It's like, why? It's kind of strange. And then we find out that because there's this other person like Pearl Davis, the Just Pearly things on the YouTube there, was also talking about how what? Oh, sorry, I thought you said something. He apparently.
Oh, no, I just hate Pearl Davis or whoever that bitch is.
No,
She's
fair
horrible.
enough. Fair enough. I mean, you don't have to like her, but she was also she was saying how, like, you know, she was essentially on Crowder's side because she saw the video that was posted and he thought that was kind of strange. Turns out that Steven Crowder's wife has been planning this divorce for over 2 years, and it was found out that she was having all these messages with her father, with all these different people at the Daily Wire, with all these different people that works for Crowder. This divorce.
That's not
Yeah.
abnormal.
No, I know it's not abnormal,
Yeah,
but
I was going to
essentially,
say, because that's pretty normal for a woman who wants a divorce to have planned it for years before she can act it.
well, it's just like the video that was posted. It was weird because she kept saying abuse. It was kind of
Have
weird
you seen
because
the fucking videos of Crowder dealing with her? He was very abusive.
That's an interpretation.
very
That's not a
Annoying.
fucking interpretation.
No, it is.
No, it's
And
not.
the
She
reason,
wasn't allowed to go to the store. She wasn't allowed to have a fucking car. She had
Yeah,
to
because-
stay home
yeah,
and do whatever he
yeah.
said. That was it.
Family.
That's abuse. Period.
no, it's not. And the reason why I say
Yeah,
that
that's
is because,
control and abuse, dude.
no, that's not how that
You're
works.
not going to physical abuse, that's fine, but
Look,
that
if
is
you only-
absolutely control and abusive
Okay.
behavior.
If you have it, no. First of all, no. It's just they had a scheduling problem. She really wanted to go out that day. They only had the one vehicle, and he had work that he needed to do. She literally interfered with his work. She wasn't supposed to do it, and she could have waited till later in the day, but
He
she insisted
has
right then and
$1
there.
$1 million
Why did they not have their own
plus. Why do
vehicle?
they only have one car?
Why did they not have 2 vehicles in that household when he's making that insane amount of money?
Because he doesn't need to. Why does
It
he?
Obviously
literally
he
proves
does.
they need to.
No. Listen, if you're a stay-at-home wife, you have nothing but free time. Why would you need to?
Literally, she was going to go to the store. That was
Yeah.
what she wanted to do, was go to the grocery store.
She couldn't wait a couple hours. It was just such a
I'm
big
sorry,
emergency. She
that
had to
was
go right
abuse.
then. and
There's really no other interpretation that makes any sense on that one. That's silly.
there. I think that's stretching it. No,
Yeah,
that's
It,
right.
it only works. It only works as not abuse if you think of women as lesser than men, if they're not real people.
I don't know where you're getting that from. No. If you don't need another
So
car,
okay,
You know
so
what,
if it was a woman
um,
making, hold on, let's say, so if it was a woman making the money and Crowder was a stay-at-home dad, and he wanted to go to the store, but she was like, "No, bitch, I got to go do this other thing," and even though I could easily afford another car tomorrow, just buy it outright without any real problem, I'm not going to do that. You just have to stay home because I don't want you leaving and doing stuff when I'm not here. That would be
You
totally
know,
fine.
the first thing,
you know what? You know why it's
within
totally
2
fine? All right, you know why it's totally fine? It's because one's time and all that is more valuable than the others. Because one guy makes the money,
Well,
one
then-
doesn't,
then
and
what-
one has the free time. Okay, again, she could have waited a couple hours. What was the harm? What was the harm in waiting a few hours? What's the harm?
Yeah, I don't know if there's. Yeah, if you really saw that video and didn't see
I did
abuse,
see.
man, I don't know.
I saw the
tell you.
video multiple times. Okay, multiple times. Again, where's the harm? She could have waited a few hours. No harm, none whatsoever. None whatsoever. And on top of all that,
Dude.
we find out that she planned this all out. And you know why she planned this all out? Because they had an argument 2 years ago. That's it. That's the reason why she wanted to have the divorce.
Oh, I'm sorry. If there was one argument on the fucking video, there was probably dozens, if not hundreds, of other ones.
I mean, maybe, but again, like if it like, and not only that, the term abuse has been like stretched
But I
to
mean,
these
this
absurd levels.
this beggars the imagination. If there's this many people saying he's
get it.
abusive, it's like the thing with Cosby. It's like, yeah, at a certain point, you just can't stop.
Okay,
You have to
Well-
you have to understand that, like, there's a certain amount of smoke that indicates a fire.
look. We've stretched the term abuse so absurdly that it's ridiculous. Like when we were talking about like financial abuse. What the fuck is financial abuse? You have an arrangement and an agreement. What the fuck are you talking about? But that's also been stretched out there. And then you have like neglect and stuff. Oh, he doesn't spend that much time. Well, do you want the money or don't you? I mean, there's all these ridiculous things. The entire video, and I tell you to watch it again. Everything she's saying is absolutely ridiculous. And on top of all that, her time is not as valuable as his time because he brings in the money. And so she wants to do stuff that will interfere with him bringing in the money, which will affect both of them. All because she didn't want to wait a few hours. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
There's no way we're going to agree on this. This is never going to be a point we're going to agree on. I don't know. Yeah, like, I'm sorry.
Well, I am quite baffled by your position on this, Samaj. I'm fucking baffled.
I don't see how. A few hours is not a
problem. That would be the problem.
I don't
you
see
know
how
what I did when I found out my ex was pregnant? Within 2 weeks, I got her own dependable vehicle.
Okay.
And I only make about $60,000 a year.
Yeah, well, not everyone needs
she's
to make
driving
that
a
decision.
shitty car, and I didn't want her to not be without a vehicle and not have a dependable vehicle.
Okay. You can make that decision. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
So yeah, if you think somebody making that much money is only having one vehicle because they didn't need a second
one. First and foremost, they're both adults. There's no reason one should be the only one who gets to make any decisions financially or about what everybody does with their time. That's insane.
If you're the one who's bringing in the money, yeah, you should decide what goes to it.
No, that's not true. That's not how marriage works. That's not how people work. That's not how any relationship works.
If someone is bringing in all the money,
you're talking about a slave-master relationship, not a fucking marriage.
I'm talking about a husband-wife relationship.
No, you're not. You're talking about a slave relationship.
That's not how the person who makes the money gets to make all
the decisions. That's not actually a healthy relationship. That's insane.
That's no
matter which partner is making the most money or even the only, that doesn't automatically give them fucking control. It's a partnership.
Yeah, that's the whole point of
should be doing a bunch of shit to take care of the house,
honor and cherish and love and respect. All of the words are just violated by that in a marriage ceremony.
That doesn't mean you give up the control of your money. I mean, they're not the ones putting in the time. Again, what's it worth?
If you want to control your money, don't get married, because that's the way marriage works. You don't get to have 100% sole control of your money anymore.
Yes, you do, as you should.
No, that's not how marriage works, and we all know this is not how it works. Like, this is...
I disagree.
That's why she's gonna walk. She's gonna divorce him. She's gonna get a fuck ton of his money that she probably never would have gotten if he was reasonable.
It was already discovered the reason why she's getting divorced is because they had an argument 2 years ago. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And then
you legitimately think there was just one argument, and that's the only reason she's getting a divorce.
According to her text, according to all the messages that were released, yes, that's exactly why she did it. I'm not making this stuff up. This is recent stuff. You can look it up for yourself, and you find out that what I'm telling you is the truth. Is that she's planned this out for 2 years, using her family, using people close to Crowder to try to plan this out, and this is going on for 2 years, and the reason why is because they had an argument 2 years ago. Women are vicious and vindictive, and they hold a grudge for a long time. You should know this by now. All right? This is not unusual. You should know this.
Yeah, there are some women that are like that, but that's not a female trait.
Yes, it is. It happens all the time. All the time.
Yeah, I mean, I give you. Yeah, I'll certainly grant that women can hold grudges far longer than men can.
Exactly, and a lot of divorces. But 30% of all divorces are vindictive because they had an argument or something, or they were embarrassed at some point. Again,
where are you getting that stat from? Where are you getting the 30% from? I'm just curious. I'm not being a smart ass.
I know what you say. Yeah, I know.
Where you got it from?
There was multiple ones. I think one of which was the. Let's see, what was the dating? It was like a court-related thing. They were talking about like divorce courts and all that, and what gets found out is like through vindictive stuff. I can't remember all these because there's the Canadian stats and the American stats. They're kind of different, but they're similar in the same thing. If you look up on like why women get divorced, there's a lot of examples that they often give, and a lot of times it's because of things that were said in the past. And women admit this themselves, and you should know this yourself. Women do this all the time. They hold grudges, and then they plan out their revenge. That's what always happens. In this case with Crowder, it was the same thing. And in this particular case with Crowder, it's also because like a lot of the text messages were released, a lot of the communications were released, and we found this out. It's not like this is unusual. We've known this kind of stuff for a long time. It's part of women's nature. Now, granted, not all, but it happens a lot. Enough that it's at least 30%. Again, I'm not making this shit up.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
Yeah, it's pointless at this time, dude.
If we keep going around in circles, it's just going to make everybody mad, we're not going to agree, unfortunately.
Can I go on something else? Can I go on something else? Let me say,
have you guys the Super Mayor thing? Anybody's gotten any updates on the Super Mayor chick getting arrested or whatever?
They actually made some progress against the mayor in Dalton, the one who's stealing all the money. She had done a thing where she removed the county clerk's signature requirement off of the checking account and removed the county clerk from the checking account, which was totally illegal. According to the city charter, the mayor and the county clerk have to sign off on all the checks for everything, right? So, she wants to write a check for anything, obviously. So they got the county clerk put back on all that stuff, so they're going to be using that to go through and get bank records that they weren't allowed to get prior. So they're going to be able to see where some of the money's been going, at least from the city. At least from where it went when it left that bank. They're going to be able to see, which is a big step forward in any investigation, but I don't know.
Yeah,
a lot of politicians enjoy a certain level of immunity from the law. So I don't know if this is going to end with her going to prison as it should. I think that's fairly unlikely, but I'm curious to see where it goes. I mean, and I don't have I do sympathize with the town a little bit. They did try to recall her, but at the same time, like, they voted her in the first place, so I'm not super, like, sympathetic towards them. Like, 86% of the people in town voted for her in the first place, so.
Yeah, I've heard that she had actually taken money from the city or the town or whatever and donated it to her charity. Do you remember hearing about that?
Yeah, somehow
I think I had heard that.
I don't know if it's legal. I'm pretty sure it's not legal to do it, but she took a bunch of the money from the town and gave it to her charity, which is obviously a money laundering thing. Because that's where if the businesses don't give money to her charity and donate to her election funds and stuff, then they don't get to operate. She revokes their licenses. So
yeah, that's some fucked up shit.
Indicates that it's money laundering for sure.
Yeah, almost certainly. Yeah, like the Clinton Foundation. Clinton just have more pull.
Which mayor is this?
Oh, you haven't seen the mayor in Dalton? It's in the same state as Chicago.
All right,
it's a suburb of Chicago, essentially.
I didn't know, because a lot of things are sounding so similar these days. I didn't know which mayor you're talking about.
True, there's like other mayors in the same fucking state who are just as bad. They just don't get the publicity. But yeah, no, this is the one that's Tiffany Henyard of Dalton, Illinois. I want to say it is
Dalton,
right?
Illinois. Yeah,
Dalton, Illinois.
Yeah, it's Illinois.
Yeah. So, and she's not only the mayor of Dalton, she's also holds a major position in the county.
Or it's called a township.
Like that. Oh, what?
Essentially a county. It's called a township, but it's essentially like a county.
Yeah. But she holds another elected position that's really high up. That's much higher than the mayor position.
Yeah, and she even got that one a little strangely, from what I understand. I don't remember the details.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's going to rig the elections. She's already planned out. Like, I'm sure she's already got stuff in place to rig the elections for this year coming up, because while they were trying to recall her, this is her last year as mayor. She has to get voted in or out. But she's also the one that set it up so that she makes, I think, some ridiculous high amount of money, like $500,000 a year as mayor, or $1 million a year, some crazy amount. But if she loses the position of mayor this next time, whoever gets elected has a salary cap of $100,000 a year.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. Yeah, if she stays on, the salary stays where it's at. If she doesn't, then it gets cut down fucking insanely low.
Something that'll get, once it's challenged in court, it's going to get thrown out. Like, you can't do that. That's just not how that works. But
Yeah.
The whole thing is
The
insane.
fact that she felt old enough to try it is pretty fucking nuts.
Yeah. Well, you can see why the people wanted to recall her. But that whole
Yeah, I wonder
story is
what's
getting
happening.
crazier and crazier.
Yeah, the FBI apparently is investigating her. So I gotta imagine it's gonna be, no matter how much she fucking like. It's just too much. Like she got too greedy. She could have probably got away with this shit for a long time, if she didn't go so fucking over the top with it and be so fucking greedy. Because I guarantee you, there's places where shit like that's happening, but not to nearly that extent, where they're getting away with it because they're not, again, getting overly greedy. And she's just ghetto as hell. Well, everybody there. It's not like there's no, even though some of the people against her are pretty fucking ghetto. But yeah, it's an interesting, fascinating situation. Like if you watch the town hall meetings and all that shit, it's like, dude, you guys are all grown ups, fucking doing this shit. Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about that? I know last time I was on here was talking about the squatter situation happening in New York, and then similar in California, where people just let themselves into houses that are presumably vacant, and then they just say that they're there. They got squatters' rights, and so they can't kick them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
apparently if you manage to stay in for 30 days, it gives you like benefits, even if you didn't do it legally.
You're considered a tenant
contract
in New York.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah,
there for
it's
like
New York,
30
they got the
days,
law.
you're
Yeah.
a tenant, and there's a lot more protection than even squatters get.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah, and again, it takes a long ass time to get through the courts. So even if you're only in for a few days, you might have trouble because the court shit moves so slowly that it's going to take over 30 days to fucking process shit. Yeah, it's some fucking ridiculous bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we
So
talked about it earlier how there needs to be laws. Because again, because the cops or the sheriffs or whoever are just like, sorry, this isn't our jurisdiction. You got to go through the courts.
or it's like it's not in
And they're just
our
washing their hands of it.
they're saying like it's a
Yeah, it's not their jurisdiction or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
it's a domestic dispute. So it's like, yeah, you can't actually say anything about
Yeah,
it.
it's,
Well,
it's not criminal. It's a civil matter.
Yeah, exactly. So what
Sorry,
I heard about
civil
this
matter. Yeah,
I heard about this guy and he's called like the squatter squatter fighter or something. I don't know. And essentially what it is like he comes up with this thing where if you write him down as a tenant, he can actually just move in there and move all their stuff out for you.
Yeah. There's a couple of groups like that now. There's one guy that does it. I think there's a bunch of videos about him. But there's also multiple different groups now that are starting to do like vigilante for hire stuff, where it's like getting rid of squatters, cleaning up like parks and stuff, like getting rid of like people that are sleeping in parks. It's fucking crazy because you know all these things that the police used to do, enforcing reasonable laws to protect society just in general, are now being forced into the position where like the only people that can do them are vigilantes, which is, we don't want that. That's not what we want. That's not a positive step forward. It's nice for the people that are being helped now, but it's not always going to be just like a pure helpful, like good thing.
Yeah, it's going to end up being like a protection racket, or there's bad shit's going to happen.
Or
with that being a trend.
Or somebody's going to get accused of something, or somebody's going to hire this group of people to do something to somebody who's completely innocent and has done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And somebody's going to get killed because they were just accused of something by some random guy who paid a bunch of people several $1,000s or whatever, like to fix the problem.
Yeah, again, any vigilante thing, there's going to be multiple fucking bad things that are going to come out of it. Yeah, too many fucking abuses and that. So, yeah, it really needs to get handled legally or through civil means. So
yeah, the whole reason we have police in the first place is because we recognize that. Yeah, lynch mobs are a bad thing. We realize that.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, we were talking about it earlier. At least DeSantis in Florida signed it into law to fucking combat that shit.
Yeah, it blows my mind that there are so many times where like the solution to the problem that people have is very, very simple. And I don't, I'm
They
sure you
won't
guys
do it.
remember Schwarzenegger was the governor for a while in California.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, yeah.
he's a
Yeah.
conservative guy. He was running as a Republican. He's a conservative guy. He's a more reasonable, very intelligent man.
Nah.
And he has spoken about this in interviews, I believe, where he would talk to people and say, "Oh, this is a very simple problem to solve. We'll just do this," and they'll go, "Oh no, I know, but I will never vote for that because that's not what I'm getting paid to do."
Yeah.
Like they were honest. They weren't being paid by the people that were bribing them to do things that were in the best interest of the people. They'll do anything else because they're being paid to, but they don't give a shit about helping anyone. So none of the people in office were willing to help him do anything in California. So that's why he didn't really get much done.
Yeah, it's the same kind of issue with any professional activist. If your fucking livelihood depends on you solving any certain type of problem, it's not really in your interest to say, "Oh, okay, well that's fixed. I'm going to retire now."
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to start inventing problems that need to be solved that weren't actually problems. Stop, Luke. No leg. Sorry, I got the dog with me. That wasn't anything sexual.
it's fine.
My grandpa's name is Luke. He likes to lick my fucking shins for some reason.
Oh,
like I'm constantly having shin.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My shin.
Yeah. He's got a little bit of cattle dog in him, then I'm sure. Because we had a healer cross, and they're definitely a cattle dog, and then the Finnish Laphound that we had is also used for herding animals.
Yeah.
And one of the things they always do is they kind of boop you or lick you on the legs or the shins down like by your feet and your ankles.
Yeah. Well, he also tries to lick my face and it's pretty much anywhere. Yeah.
No. I'm just saying, that's a common sheep herding thing, behavior that dogs
get
when
licking thing.
Working dogs, because a lot of working dogs were used for herd animals. So.
But it's a lot of licks. Like when I go to scratch his chin, he'll start licking my palm, scratching his chin.
The worst is when you're not expecting it. Like you don't know the dog is there because the little fucker is quiet, or something.
Yeah.
And they sneak up behind you, and then suddenly there's a cold nose on the back of your fucking calf, and the pitch dark or something. You're like, son of a bitch, you goddamn dog.
Yeah, not the legs as much as the elbow and the forearm. He catches me.
Oh, that's even worse.
Licking my elbow. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
no.
he's nuts.
Probably just as bad. Probably would be just as bad if you're watching a scary movie.
Oh yeah. If you're already predisposed, it's not helping.
Like I'm gonna accidentally fucking flinch and elbow him in the fucking eye or something. Yeah.
Oof. Well, the dog will learn a valuable lesson.
The Goldens love to have their paw on you too. I don't know if that's common with any other kind of dogs, but yeah, if I'm petting him or rubbing his chin or chest, he'll have one paw just resting on my forearm the whole time. Yeah. Yeah, like I said,
I've had dogs that do that occasionally, just not very often. Yeah, maybe that's a Labrador thing.
Yeah, definitely Goldens for sure.
Yeah.
And Labs and Goldens are pretty close, so I assume Labs do
the
same shit.
Golden, sorry, I was getting them mixed.
Yeah, they're similar. Yeah, apparently Labs are actually more energetic than Goldens. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude! I'm definitely never getting a Lab. Yeah, dude, that's what I said. I'm definitely never getting a Lab.
Maybe the kitten that my sister got that was broken was secretly a Labrador.
Oh fuck! But yeah, it's I for the longest time, I've always loved golden retrievers, but I always for the longest time wanted to get a chocolate Lab. I was trying to talk my son into getting one.
Really like that dog for some reason.
Yeah, that's just adorable, dude. But luckily he did not listen. This guy's enough of a handful.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, you any kind of really working dog, you really have to get out and walk on a regular basis at the very least. It's also usually a good idea to
Yeah,
train
no,
them to
it's-
do like tricks and work with them on a regular basis on doing like various different kinds of tricks. Just something to
Yeah,
occupy
well, we've seen-
and use their brain, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to do the last big trick I taught him where he stands on his hind legs and he has his front legs lifted up or whatever, like that. I'm trying to have him do the same thing, but when sitting, and he just raises up his front legs and he's still sitting. So that's what I'm working on with him now. But yeah, he's they're so easy to train because they're so eager to please and they're so fucking intelligent that they get shit really fast.
Oh yeah.
Because again, I think I spent maybe a half an hour teaching him to rear up on his hind legs and lift his front legs up like that. Which before this I would have been like, dude, that's going to take weeks or months, surely. But no, he did it really fucking quick.
Nice. All right, well,
Yeah.
it is 6
Yeah, like I
o'clock,
said.
and there's a new character that's only available for the weekend on Overwatch, and
Oh yeah,
I'd like
gotta
to,
get in on that.
call
Man.
it an evening if we might,
All right. Sounds
Okay,
good.
yeah.
Sounds good.
because I stopped playing Overwatch really early on because it was like obvious I couldn't do both,
Yeah.
carry a conversation
With
and
the
play
wall
it.
hacking buddy.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.